Halito, OCO, and Petuwaste, Aloha, whatever your greeting. It's your girl, Original Copper Empress, and this is the Matriarch show tonight. Chisana, you know, welcome, come on up. Halito, Copper Tav, and Cherie L, Cherie Reed L. Um, you're more than welcome to come on up. Um, and Chisana, you already got the link. I'm gonna play my music and let the chat build. Tonight I might not be able to shout out, acknowledge one, Alito. Might not be able to shout out everyone tonight. But definitely we're gonna go on and get the music started.
Can you hear me? Let's see here. Okay, it's on. Hey, Empress. Hi, everyone.
You Chisana, I'm gonna play the song.
Okay, guys.
Hey, I'm gonna play the music and let it build. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, my love. I'll just mute for now.
Mother, there's too many of you cry. Brother, brother, there's far too many of you die. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right on. Hey man, what's your name? Right on. Everybody thinks we're oh, but simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find. Bring some understanding here today. Oh. Pick it loud and pick it sound. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me. You can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Ooh. Right on. Right on. Right on. Right on.
I praise thee, I praise thee. Kimani Marley alongside his one and only little brother, yours truly.
We're living a battle,
Yes,
and the God is on our side. We're not afraid of losing,
not me.
so we're not afraid to fight. We're fighting for our freedom. We're dying for our rights, yeah. Still in my darkest hour, oh dread, I found paradise. So where is the justice? Somebody tell me now. Where is the peace you talk about? Still living in darkness. Oh, somebody tell me now. Tell me where are the keepers of the light? The light, the light. Where are the keepers of the light? The light, the light. Where are the keepers of the light? Trapped in this darkness, wish a light to shine on me. I'm trying to keep my faith, the one thing they can't take from me. Where are the believers who believe in life, that will risk it all just to do what's right, to fight the good fight? Here we go again, children of the light. On you we all depend, and we can make it work, for we know what it's worth. Why don't you stop the wars from all over this earth? So where is the justice? Somebody tell me now.
But once people my life, imagine if man live like Christ, or Buddha or Muhammad, out the place would nice, and not by force, by choice, equal rights and love. We are the keepers, we are the keepers, we are the keepers of the light. We are the keepers, we are the keepers, we are the keepers of the light. So where is the justice? Somebody tell me now. Where is the peace you talk about? Still living in darkness. Oh, somebody tell me now. Tell me, where are the keepers of the light? The light, the light. Where are the keepers of the light? The light, the light. Where are the keepers of the light? Somebody tell me now. Oh, somebody tell me now. Somebody tell me now.
The moment you realize it's people that you love that you're gonna have to leave behind. I was told out. Look, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though. Some of y'all might leave family behind. Everybody can't go though. Could've completed, but you get deleted. Some people are defeated, so you feel deleted. And knowledge is medicine. Knowing you did it. If everyone go, I'ma know that you treated. You think I'm conceited, I'm feeling completed. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Look, everybody can't go though, beat it. You was ascending and starting to win. No pretending, actually win. Low vibrations, boxing you in. Who keep letting them toxins in? All my people are toxin us. Everyone on our toxin land. Ancient like cosmology. I am the source, I hold a win. Really a God supposed to win. Anyone that's trying to get with me, just start doing the most you in. Trying to turn up, it goes to 10. Blood type, you almost in. Minarchin, we all go in. G, I'm a rule, we all go in. Bring you the water, but can't make you drink. No, I'm not here to just make you think. If anything, I'm here to just make you fight. It's all us, make it right. Everybody ain't with it. Let me tell you, I don't like reading. Freedom ain't free, you broke, I get it. Let me tell you, don't like breathing. Can't even make you up, you sleeping. Niggas are sleeping, scalping season. Some of y'all sleep through all this treason. Government beefing, now you vegan. Need autonomy, we don't need them. Now we rise, this house is freedom. Really gonna hurt my heart to leave them. Really gonna hurt my heart to leave them. This assimilation or a cycle, they be hating on you for survival. That's why I don't mess with the Bible. Ain't nobody try for going viral. We original, we hold the title. Lot of work to do, how you idle. Ain't no lost idols in they bio. We ancient in Ohio. Say what you want and do what you do, but I'm starting to get, I don't know about you. Gotta go with think, ain't go on YouTube. If you think you know, you ain't got no clue. Say what you want and do what you do, but I'm starting to get it, I don't know if you do. Gotta go with think, ain't go on YouTube. You thinking you know, you ain't got no clue. War, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though. Some of you completed, but you get deleted. Some people are defeated, so you feel deleted. And knowledge medicine, knowing you need it. If everyone go, I'ma know that you cheated. You think I'm conceited, I'm feeling completed. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Look, gotta be. Look, everybody can't go though.
Halito, welcome. Osio, Empetuaste, aloha, whatever is your greeting. It's your girl, Original Copper Empress. We waiting on them to come in. You reach back out to them, Chisa, now.
Yes, I did, Goddess. Halito, everyone. I did. What I'll do is mute and go off camera, and then I'll call Rod Hayes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes, this is the Matriarch's bill tonight. I have my beautiful Chisanal up here. And we're gonna let them come on in. We did talk to them yesterday, so they said it would be here. So I ain't gonna be able to shout out to everybody tonight. Yeah, it's over 200 something people. But peace and love to everyone that's coming out, lending their energy over here at the Matriarchs Express tonight. Cuzzo, I sent you the link into your email. So, but peace and love to everyone that shared. Thank y'all for coming in for tonight's bill.
Halito, we're waiting on you over there by Copper Empress.
Chief, you're not on mute, Chief.
Oh, God.
Okay. I see some of y'all from TikTok. Welcome. This is why I do my lives. Other than that, I just go over there and troll and cuss out people. But yes. This is where I do my lives. So we said we are waiting on her to come. Moderators, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is gonna be a respectful night tonight. I know it's been a lot of disrespect, but this is gonna be a respectful live. We just want to get some stuff answered. We're not gonna be disrespectful towards her. But moderators, y'all see anything, damn it, ain't right. Y'all know what to do. You already know what to do. I ain't gotta tell you. I got snipers, y'all. So I guess we could play another song while we wait on them. So I'm gonna go on mute and I'm gonna play one more song while we wait on them.
Oh, okay. So you want me to start performing? Do you know what you're going to? What you like to see? We show you.
Well, the concern is African American voters voting in just as high a soldier as America.
Family in this beat. Son, real American. Original American. I'm from here, I ain't come here. Yeah. Say top of my color, I die for my brothers, but I do not think you these house understand. He landed the bend when they burned down your channels to niggas and slammers, equality dead. Fuck it out up, they came back from my virgin, the feather my color, the crown with the feds. Watch how you classify when you be passing by calling you black, it's like calling you dead. Y'all came to the land of the free and the home of the brave, forgot that it's not where you stayed. So having babies and switching your name around, land on the dies and you taking their place. Don't forget Democrats pushing your city back, casting your vote, but you in the grave. Rewrite your history, fill it with misery, lying to everyone we was the slaves. Where your ancestors from? What name you took on? What boat did you bitches come on? If you had a sponsorship, you not a Thompson and see, but my people been here all along. Calling us African must be an accident. Claiming you American shit is just wrong. Clarification in case you mistaken. Sit back and remember the words to this song. Obama is not American. Rich McConnell is not American. You crackers is not American. Pan-African is not American. Remember, there's two Americans. We the old, not the new Americans. Man, look how they do Americans. Black people, the true Americans. Sorry, not sorry.
Well, hello there.
My
Halito.
bad. Hello,
Mhm.
Alito.
Halito, how y'all
Y'all,
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We waiting on Empress Rare Bird.
She tied up right now. I don't think she's gonna make it in.
Oh wow. Well, y'all, we talked to her yesterday. She said she'll be here.
Yeah, I asked her about it before because I asked her about it, and we had the wires crossed with another person who was trying to schedule a live,
Mm-hmm.
and she had some other things she was working on, and she was like, I don't know. She was like, we ain't got no live. I said, yeah, did y'all call yesterday? She was like, yeah, but that was different. That was somebody different. When she called her, the young lady said that she hadn't scheduled it yet. So I was totally confused until I got the message and said to come over here. And I was like, holy shit. But I'm here. Anything I can do to assist, that's what I'm here for.
Okay. Well, y'all, we're gonna have to reschedule with Empress Redbird, but we do have Ron Hayes. Ron Hayes here, so we'll be able to, if any, I'm gonna let Chief and Sun out. She has the questions that people wants answered. Um, Halito, everyone just coming into the chat. Peace and love to everyone. You on mute. You on mute. Chief Sun
There
out.
seems to be a confusion about Chief Rarebird, and I want to get all that straight because they're saying that she's trying to take the Yamasee land and all that. And I know that's not true because I've seen her, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I was on the show with the young elder, you and her, and I got all the facts. And I don't think everybody saw that show and got all the facts. So when she was on TikTok on Earth Speaks, everybody just ran with what they wanted to run with and never questioned. So what is her lineage? What is her lineage?
She's certified direct mitochondrial descendant of the first mother. They've been tracking all of us since birth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They know who we are. We just don't know who they are.
Right, right.
You hear us all the time. We talking about they did this and they don't want. Who the fuck is they?
Right.
Right. So now she not here for just her.
Right.
And her she not here for just her clan.
Right.
She's here to call the matriarchs to reclaim their birthright, which is planet Earth.
That's right. That's right.
And she's just the lead in a group of women around the world that had enough of seeing their sons sent off to war, their daughters trafficked around the world for illicit sexual purposes, for children being harvested for their adrenalized blood. She fed up with all of that. And as most of the women feel something ain't right, just don't know what it is, we telling you what it is now.
That's right.
The balance restored to the earth is to restore the matriarchy, and that's not even a negotiation. Ain't gonna be no balance until the great mother back on her throne. As long as it ain't no balance, we gonna serve in the position of maintenance to slave owners, slave catchers, and those who don't think that they feel like we inferior to them.
Yes.
And we be thinking it's pale face. Pale face ain't behind it.
No, it's not. That's you can see now how everybody's reacting just because she said she have a allodial title for some land for the people. And I read the allodial title, and the allodial title said for the people. It never said for Chief Rarebird.
She didn't capture it for herself.
Exactly the same thing with me. This is a lien against the New Orleans for our land. But I guess I'm trying to get it for myself when it's for the people.
So it's funny you bring that up because I had to write a statement for the matriarchs to reclaim to put the tribes on notice. This ain't got nothing to do with the dead government, because they don't know that the United States corporation is over with.
That's right.
It's y'all time. This not my time to shine. It's y'all time to shine. I'm just opening the way. I'm just the lead, open, kicking doors open where they don't want y'all to have y'all birthright.
Exactly.
So growing up, my mama always told me, don't let nobody take nothing from your brothers and your sisters.
Yes.
Well, I only got 3 siblings younger than me. Right? I got 4 siblings older than me. She didn't say only don't let them take nothing from your little brothers and sisters. She said brothers and sisters unilaterally. And right now, it's just tribal reach. All of the matriarchs is my sisters who've been displaced. And they can take it personal if they want to. It doesn't matter to me. They can be offended if they want to. It don't matter to me. They can hate me to my death. It don't matter to me. As long as the great mother put back on her throne, the matriarchy restored, I can get less than a damn what they do with me.
And you were put on this earth for a reason, God. You know that.
Yeah.
Right.
I got marching orders from my big mama when I was a baby. And she literally told me, leave no stone unturned, reveal everything they did that they kept a secret.
And it's so funny how they always calling people fake and all this stuff, and they don't really know. I mean, some people on TikTok have information. I mean, I love listening to Tay, and she has a lot of information, especially about us reclaiming our stuff. But a lot of people on TikTok is just talking out of their necks. They don't really know, you know, and then calling people fake. And I have my birth certificate here with Shata on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't have.
Louisiana is one of the few states where you could put your tribal lineage on without being a death target.
That's right.
We couldn't put our true lineage on birth certificates because if we put Choctaw, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Lakota, Dakota, we was marking our children for death before they even realized who they is.
Yes, like that movie Killers of the Flower Moon. That was showing the Native Americans, but it actually was us because it showed Oklahoma when they bombed Oklahoma and all the stuff they did to our people. They showed how that was going on at the same time. So it was our people, no doubt about that. You know, and they kind of like mixed up the people. But
listen, our mothers, collectively, the tribal mothers, allowed these people to settle over here under conditions that they don't disrupt the other clans and they don't cross the Appalachians. Once they got their foot in the door, they figured they could take it all.
Right.
Well,
I felt her energy. I knew where she was coming from. She's working for the people. Trust me, I know, because we've been in this since 2019 and they've been coming against us ever since, called the FBI for us and everything, lying on us, telling we were child trafficking and all that stuff. And, you know, this is our family who's the nation. So we don't have time to be engaging in any kind of negativity with anybody. So I just left it alone and let them think whatever they want to think. But I also wanted to ask, how did she start her nation?
She didn't start anything. Her nation and our nations have always been here.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
But you have to resurrect your nation. I should have said you resurrected because they kind of like killed us on paper, right? So
paper genocide, correct.
Yes, you have to resurrect that nation and let them know that, look, we're here, we're not dead. Because when we started resurrecting our nation, they was trying to say we were extinct. No, we're not. New Orleans has the biggest amount of melanin people there. So no, that's not true. You know.
If they think you don't know what they talking about, just offer them, say, tell your government to stop Mardi Gras. Let's see what happens.
You
tell them to stop Mardi Gras.
Around COVID, they was trying to do that. And them people's like, we don't give a fuck. Don't stop Mardi Gras. And COVID was going around. So you know,
look, you will have tribes standing up in faraway places as Alaska when they talk about removing Mardi Gras.
Oh, you tell them to stop a second line. I'm telling you. I'm from New Orleans, baby. You telling people to stop a second line, they'll shoot your ass right there.
That's it. And then it's not a negotiation. They're not going to negotiate with Mardi Gras. They tried it. The French tried it before they sold out to the English.
Yes.
And when they tried to stop Mardi Gras, they seen a rebellion like they never seen before. So they say, leave them New Orleans second line dancing motherfuckers alone.
Yeah, because I'm serious. It's like no police don't stop nobody in New Orleans. They know who we are. We just have to wake up, man. That's basic. Let me ask you this: can anybody want to do an allodial title?
It can't be just anybody. See, over here, we used to do things with the oral tradition. The settlers came up and drew allodial titles up under the Crown of England and the Pope. In order for us to get everything back, one of us, the men, have to put it in the public domain. And if they do the right job and they make the right statements by public decree under the oral tradition, they're going to surrender the corresponding paperwork that verifies the legitimacy of the rightful heir's claim. 13 days after I issued my cancellation of all treaties for non-performance and fraud, the non-performances, they never honored one. I can't find one they honored.
Me either.
Okay, now, and the fraud was they never had an intention of honoring the treaty when they came with that shit. So since they never honored one, and since they use fraud to secure signatures, and part of the fraud is presidentially made chiefs. You can't fucking make a chief by presidential order. I don't care who your president is. You got to be born into this, reared and raised according to certain key tribal traditions, and your memory's going to come back.
Right.
I've been knowing since I was a little boy that something was wrong on the land, but I didn't know what it was.
So have I.
So I had, and they kept giving me all these instructions as a little boy. And I couldn't understand why my mama was telling me stuff she wasn't telling my older siblings. That's because I had a function. She told me, you the seventh child. It's the reason you number 7.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My mama number 7 and her daddy number 7. The government already know who he is and know that one of us gonna speak up. That's why they started COINTELPRO.
Yes.
So Jeff Ford out of Chicago is the war chief that was supposed to tear it up, but his people left him hanging.
Right.
The clans left the leader of the war, the rebellion, they left him stranded as a captive. How you expect us to get free if the government just got to put a dirty tag on a man, accuse him of some shit that they made up, and then lock him up? You can't. If they take all of the leadership, what we gonna do then? How mama gonna get her shit back? How her daughter's gonna be made whole?
That's right.
This is all I want to know.
That's right.
Right. So right now, Empress Redbird is reviewing the matriarchal order to restore the land back to the people that I was instructed today on the Wind Talker channel to write. It don't got nothing to do with me. And it ain't on Rod Hayes' behalf. I'm trying to put everything where it's supposed to go so it can run the way it's supposed to run. That's all.
That's right.
I'm not looking for nothing. I'm not in here for no money. Because first of all, their money it's worthless.
That's right.
It's not even real.
She's not an I. She's we. She's about the people. When I talk to her, I didn't hear a selfish bone in her body. She's all about her people. So that's what attracted me, because chiefs I met, they're all about what I'm doing, what I'm going to do. They're not about what the people, because you're servants of the people, regardless of what you think. You are the servants of the people. And that's what I be trying to do. You know, people don't understand that. What's the difference between a patent and a allodial title? Maybe Zoe Hustles can answer that question as well.
A patent is normally on an idea, where an allodial title is a royal decree that gives whatever the allodial title to gives true ownership. It surrenders any other claim against the land that the allodial title or the people, whatever the allodial title is for, the person who is the holder of the allodial title is the true owner. Right? And if anybody put it in a personal name, they're a fraud. But when you put it in the name of the people, that tells you the difference.
And that's what I saw. When I looked at it, I said, what is people seeing? Because I don't see that she's trying to take nobody's land. I don't see that. And the people, I think people just, they want to see something negative. They want to see something that's not for the people, you know, and they want to accuse people like they usually do. Our people are quick to accuse us, but never quick to accuse the damn people that's doing what they're doing to us.
Look, this is what they don't know. Everything they accuse Cosby of, that was what Weinstein was doing. Everything they accused Malachi of, that's what Epstein was doing. But see, we don't know that they sacrificing Cosby for Weinstein. And we don't know they sacrificing Malachi for Epstein. Because it's always sacrifice the righteous in order to facilitate the indignations of the wicked.
Yeah.
That's what we've been under the age of Pisces. That's why everything had to be secret squirrel shit. Yeah. And that's how we got in this condition. Everybody trying to keep these secrets of who's the rightful heirs, who's the rightful people from the land, who got the right to the land. As long as you keep that stuff a secret, you can control and manipulate the heirs who don't know who they is.
That's right.
But as soon as one of us realize who he is and state the claim as the pretender to the throne, I'm a rightful heir. You can't interfere with that. That's my blood right.
That's right.
Right? You got people accusing me of working with the government. Why would I work with the motherfucker I'm trying to overthrow?
Right.
I don't want them motherfuckers here because they cause nothing but problems. They displace the people who supposed to be here. They facilitate the people who ain't supposed to be here. Instead of using the wealth to build up home, they use our wealth to facilitate foreign wars. I don't want them here. But what I can tell them is the government is 100% aware of who Rod Hayes is. Ben knew who I was since they came on my job to make sure they knew who I was. And I called them out for being the motherfucker undercover agents they is.
That's right.
And as soon as they knew that I was aware they were agents, it was a man. He came in under some pretenses of negotiating the contracts for the auto workers. I could have continued working at General Motors if this was about living a particular lifestyle. I was good. I had everything I wanted. I had the situation that I wanted. I was happy. I was content. But then I got a call on the Wind Talker channel say, get up. It's time. And then my mother passed away. And then she was still talking to me as if she was here. And she still talked to me as if she here. And I was so fucking confused. I'm like, what the hell is this? And she said, I already told you, check your mind. I'm going to be with you all the time. And then I noticed some commonalities. Every time she talked to me, this part of my head, what they call the anterior gyrus, is tingling.
Yeah, antennas.
It's the direct message coming in from spirit into the physical realm as ideas. If we can't distinguish who the voice is in our head, we classify it as schizophrenic. But as soon as you know who talking to you, you ain't insane.
That's right.
You psychic than a motherfucker, but they gonna classify you as a lunatic.
And speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, he was doing that because he worked for the Mossad. So he was like luring them young girls.
He was a triple agent.
That's right. That's right. And his girl, her daddy was a big Mossad agent. They say he was.
Don't leave Obama out.
That's right. Don't know. You're right. Totally.
Everybody think he was the first black president. First of all, he ain't been our president because he wasn't born here.
Right.
First of all,
right.
If he ain't born here and he take that position, it automatically kills the government. We don't know that though.
Right.
So this is why Trump was making a big deal out the birth certificate. And then the CIA agent came out and said, hold up, this birth certificate is fake. Well, we don't want to talk about that because we want to kiss his ass, never knowing his whole job was to sabotage our return to power.
That's right. That was his whole job. And now I see it now, you know.
So we trying to get from under this contract that was written up between England and France and Spain that don't got nothing to do with us. There was not one chief in Paris when the Treaty of Peace and Friendship was signed. Not one chief. So if ain't no chiefs over there signing these agreements, why are we honoring them?
Exactly.
Because ignorance of the law is no excuse.
That's right.
They haven't
Empress
honored
Redbirds.
they haven't honored not one of our damn treaties. And everybody
that's why they got canceled.
That's right.
Can I ask you something? Okay, they on her paperwork, it has Yamasee and other tribes. They're in an uproar because they feel that y'all are trying to take the Yamasee land.
You can't take people's land.
Listen, Malachi is the highest ranked Yamasee chief on the land.
And his mother Mary, that's right.
He's not ranked by the government, and he's not ranked by alphabet agencies. He's ranked as the highest chief on the land by works and blood. He had the blood and the right, and he went out to teach the people who they was. It took him a while. He had to go all the way to the Middle East to walk us back home to tell us that the Bible and Quran ain't got nothing to do with us. Right? So we can't take nothing from Malachi. But what we can do while we getting our shit, we can speak up for him. We can tell them that when they release my chief, Larry Hoover, they got to release Malachi York too, and Angel Bay too,
and Rashad Jamal.
See, people they don't even know who their enemies is.
That's right.
And they condemning people. I went down the list, named chiefs and who their enemies is. Because if you don't know who their enemies is, you won't know why they in the condition they in.
Can I say something real quick? I know a lot of people want to know. She got her days mixed up because she had a lot of people she's going to speak on their platforms. But we had already had Rod Hayes, and we got in contact with her. But she got us mixed up with somebody else she's supposed to go live with. So please be respectful in my chat, or I will block your ass. I'm just gonna be straight out front because I do got snipers out there.
And I spoke to her, and she definitely wants to come on Empress show. She wants to be here. So if she had something to do, she had something to do. There's nothing we could do about that. But she will be on Empress show.
Yeah, I'll get her. We'll talk to her again tomorrow because I know she'll probably be tied up tonight. Yeah. I know she said that she got a live for Friday. So we know it won't be next Saturday or Sunday if she's available. I would definitely, any day she's ready, I don't want to book her and she's booked with somebody else. And we were just, just wanted to get her over here because of all the confusion and all the disrespect. You know me, Rod, and I'm passionate about what I do. I'm not going to disrespect her because she's never done nothing to me. I would just have questions because
that was her just calling me.
Oh, tell her come on. We're still here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna call her back and see what she say.
Okay. And tell her she don't have to put on her regalia because she asked, "Do I have to wear my regalia?" I say, "Only if you want to."
Sure, I tell her she be
close to come how she is.
Come as she is, honey. But definitely, people they caught up in this because nothing in our time, nothing has happened like this. So people's like, oh, she's being used for agenda. She's with the corporation is sending her out. It's there's a whole lot of things that everybody's saying besides all the B's and the H's that they don't call her. But neither here nor there. I'm not gonna disrespect her because she has never done nothing to me. So I would never talk bad against her because she's never done nothing to me. And I'm waiting to see, like I told everybody, I'm just going to sit back and see what's going to take place. I've never seen this happen before in my lifetime, and I'm going to be 53 next month. So definitely I wanted to get her here because all the chaos, it's been just chaos. I ain't never seen TikTok pop like this until this week.
Right.
So, listen.
Can I say something real quick? Peace, Rod. This is Hustle.
Peace, God.
Peace, Chief Son. I love you.
My God, how are you?
I wanted to say this to the crowd. It doesn't, you got to look at it like this. A situation that could be possible or is possible, or is it a win-win situation? People don't understand. Unless you're spending thousands of dollars into doing something and it don't work, then it's not losing. If you're going after something and helping a cause that could be as potential that this could be or is, see, I'm not sure yet. So, I can only speak of what I can relate to. But some people, get upset and get frustrated and they haven't invested anything into it. And so that's why I just, wanted to say, we got to see where these things can go, where the book open and the pages turn, because, what I'm saying, if this, is reality and real, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to want to get behind it and support it, and if it has its hiccups, then everybody have a chance to say, well, that's not something I want to burp, but most people don't want to give it opportunity instead of just putting energy into something. You don't lose until you start putting finances into it. Putting your energy into something ain't losing.
My thing is, nobody is talking about Walmart, Sam's, Costco, all these damn what they call corporations on your land. You ain't even talking about the malls they built on your land. You're not talking about, they using all your shit to have in these malls. Everything that's in your minerals. But nobody, you focused on her, but there's a lot of people get shit. But nobody's going after those people. Because you can walk up, you can get them hit Walmart straight up. And I know for a fact, I know some people that got some goddamn Walmarts on their land. So I'm confused saying, do you want the Caucasian to have the shit? Or do you want somebody we can go, well, we can deal with her and get our land from her? Because you got the load of your titles. I'm confused. And when you said that that he's the highest of the Yamasee, can I ask Chisana?
Yes.
Are you the only Choctaw nation that exists?
No, ma'am. They have so many Choctaw nations here, but they was trying to say that we can't be but under one chief, and that is not true. That's why the police was called on us, because we separated ourselves and got our tribe together. So that's why the FBI was called on us, because there was 300 people left those people. You feel me?
They tried to call the FBI on Chief Warhorse.
No, they didn't. She's the one calling the FBI. I'm gonna tell it like it is. She's the one. That's why
she tell you she gonna use the government to do what she say the government supposed to do. But look, if a person don't know, some tribes got 2 chiefs, some tribes got 5 chiefs. You got different tribal traditions across. It's over 5,000 tribes that's not represented by the so-called 5 civilized tribes. We classified by the government as foreign belligerent nations on the land. Why would they classify us like that? Then they went through the whole paper trail of tears to disassociate us from who we was from the land.
Yep.
So if they went through all that trouble to deny who we is, if we can't recognize each other, we in a hell of a state of confusion.
that's right. And that is so true. That's the problem. That's why they're tripping over there on TikTok, because none of them are chiefs, and they don't want to, talking about all the other stuff that they're talking and don't know what they're talking about. First of all, do your homework. Find out about things before you go to using your mouth and talking when you really don't know. And a lot of people don't know.
Hey, let's call it Tic Tac. We're gonna start calling it Tic Tac.
It takes you to name it.
Over there on Tic Tac, right.
Your own Tic Tac. Now I asked, like, okay, like he said, there's over 5,000 nations that's not even recognized through this corporation. I'm confused when people keep saying the government. Is this our government or is this a corporation? Either one.
It's a corporation masquerading as a government.
Say that. That's exactly right. Okay. Masquerading.
See, they gave us a living example in our time of how we was usurped. If you go back to the Gulf War of 2000, right? After 9/11.
Hey, Rod, you got to slow down for the people listening. You got to explain to them the masquerading part of the government so they can.
I'm going into that now.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so an example of what they did in the Gulf was the CIA selected a guy named Mohammed Karzai. We don't remember that, and it was just 20-something years ago. How we gonna remember that they put George Washington in the same way? They gave all of the contracts to rebuild Iraq and Afghanistan to a company known as Halliburton. If you don't know what was going on around the time of the Civil War, you lost in the sauce already. Because just like they gave Halliburton the contracts, 3 companies merged under the Treaty of Peace and Friendship to become known as the United States Corporation. The original United States Constitution was a rewrite of the Iroquois Constitution.
Right.
It's key components in the Iroquois Constitution of the great law that they left out. But you can still go back and review it. Okay, now, once they use the Constitution to usurp the Iroquois Constitution, they murdered Crispus Attucks and wrote the next Constitution, the corporate Constitution, in his blood to tie us to a blood oath. If we don't know that the blood of the righteous shall not be spilled in vain and that the chiefs is the righteous ones, we over here minding our business. We didn't go attack them. They came and attacked us. We didn't go invade the Iberian Peninsula. They came and invaded us. We didn't send a scout named Cristobal Colombo over here or over there to go find out what they was doing. They sent him over here to investigate us. Most of us don't even know that he was a equivalent of a intelligence agent. He was an investigator that came over here to survey the people in the land. And we gave up freely because this is who he is. We gave him all kind of shit to take home with him. And they thought that meant come over here and do what you want to do to us, and we going to lay down and take it. And when they got to Florida, they found out that Gullah Geechee don't play that shit, that boy.
That's right.
Gullah Geechee Big Mama called all the tribes on your ass. And we came.
That's right.
We came from South America, from the islands in Central America, from the Samoan and Tongan Islands, from the Hawaiian and Philippine Islands. We came because Big Mama said it's war and the Gullah Geechee get over here. This is why we was in TPs. Them our travel tents. All our castles was empty. They said wasn't no nobility over here because of castles. That's because we don't send our sons to war if we ain't going with them.
That's right.
What you think the war binding for? So they can always see us on the battlefield to know they chief is right there with them. We ain't backing down and we ain't backing up. But if you're not a war strategist, you'll never know what these people did. My job was to just make sure all of the conjures was closed before we present the great mother to the people. That included the 200-year George Washington Challenge of Education and Erudition. That included the Haitian Revolutionary Redemption Conjure. Right? That included the broken mirror to break up the sisterhood of the matriarchs that was done on the crossroads. I had to make sure all these conjures is closed. Then I could go to the people and say, after this one is closed, now this one is closed, now this one is closed. And at the end, I need a death doula. Because we're killing the old system, the death doula had to pronounce it dead. The death doula, Phoenix Rising, comes out of the closing of the Haitian Revolutionary Conjure. These people just talking about them frauds. They didn't ever think to close that conjure out. It was the big mama out of Louisiana, Louisa Taish, that told me that the Louche is what's causing the problem in Haiti because the conjure's still open. She not Haitian. She from New Orleans. She know the culture though.
So did Empress Verdiasi. She set the stage for us to get our land back too. After they,
yeah, this is a continuum of her fight.
That's right. And
we continue in the return of the ancient ones.
That's right.
I got memories of multiple lifetimes. That's why this shit seems so easy to me to give up a massive amount of information with the receipt. I had to go find the corresponding information to what I already knew at birth so I can have the receipts before I come present it to the people. And they still don't know what's going on. I'm fighting for these suckers and they don't even know it.
Right.
But see, I call that the audacity of the leader. Because a real leader gonna fight for what's right, regardless of who don't like it, who's offended.
That's right.
At the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong. We've been right the whole time, and now it's time for us to right the wrong.
You're right.
Question. I know Chisana got some more questions. I'm going to go ask this real quick, Chisana. Okay. We got these $5 natives here that's claiming to be the people. We know they're not the people. So with this treaty, with this colonial title affect them as well?
Hell yeah. Now you got two groups of $5 Indians. Because you got the group that stayed loyal to the invaders that brought them over here. And then you got the ones who said, fuck that. These people was righteous when y'all brought us over here. We not going against them. You got two distinct groups. The ones kicking and screaming, them the ones about to get the eviction. That's why they kicking and screaming, because they chose the wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. So it'll be three $5 Indians then.
To be honest, the Hopi don't think like that, because I visited the Hopi.
You gotta think about the first $5 Indians was the white tees, and then you go into the ones that was tan and yellow and all of them.
Right.
Look,
right.
If you go back and read the history books, they tell you that when the sailors came, they brought servants with them.
And they were the servants.
Now, if you go back, the only way you'll know what servants they brought, you got to know who they fought in their wars. Because that's where they was getting their slave pool from. As Rome, as Ottomans, as the French, as the Spanish, they fought Mongolians, they fought Huns, and they fought Vedics of India. So go back and look. They don't even look like paleface. They look like $5 Indians. Then they opened up Indian schools to teach them our rituals using the 1-2 step method. When you see them doing some of the old grass dances, all that stuff, we don't need nobody to teach us that. It's natural. We don't have to put footsteps on the floor and memorize the steps. If you see them doing our rituals, you see that it's memorized. It's memorized because it's not part of their genetic makeup. But when you see one of them Crips C walking, if you see one of them Bloods B walking, if you see one of them Detroiters jitting, then you will see that all that shit was natural to us. It even feels.
Button. We got almost 1,000 people in here, and only 500 something likes. Can y'all please just hit the dislike? Because you know over here I don't give a fuck if you like it, because I'm gonna speak on what I think. So
they just
something about it. Yeah, just don't sit there and be all up in the nosebleed and shit. You can't make it up.
Yeah, somebody said Memphis juke. Memphis be juking. Florida got their own dance. They got dances that's mimicked in the hieroglyphics in Mexico. How the hell they get over there with Negroes doing Mexican, Aztec, Mayan, Incan hieroglyphic dances? Where they get it from?
Right. Right.
But if you don't know your culture, you can't read it in real time. The people telling us. Right? And we just responding to the needs of the majority, and the minority can catch up later. Because there's more people.
This to tell you that the government not up and running. Me and my sister Lyrica and Chief Sunny, we exposed that fucking government was gone, what, about 3-4 years ago. And y'all see the White House been up for sale. Some of y'all just now found with that motherfucker been up for sale.
Facts, man. Facts. Yep.
Oh, who y'all running to? Who y'all gonna get all this information that as far as allodios and patents? You got to go into your own jurisdiction. The government ain't standing there no more, y'all. Really, the federal government been gone. So now what? Are y'all ready to stand up? You know, all the arguing and shit finna get us no damn well with each other. Right. These people see us as chaos. They figure that we'll never be able to get this country up and running again because we're always fighting with one another. We fighting with the enemy. We fighting with one another, and that's how they slid in this motherfucker the first.
You're absolutely right.
That's right, Empress. And the way they was acting on TikTok, that was embarrassing. That was very embarrassing. The way they were acting.
But at the end, what they gonna say when every country in the world send delegates to come and deliver gifts and tribute to the Empress?
That's right.
Every country gonna send big mamas over here. Look, they talking about the border crisis. They ain't seen nothing yet. When the world realized that the Empress returned, you're not going to be able to build no border wall big enough or long enough to keep these people away.
That's right.
Is it because the color of her skin? Because I wonder. I sat there that night after I seen all this shit. If it was a Caucasoid coming telling y'all that she got the allodial title to the damn land, I wonder how would y'all would have reacted. Or y'all would just been like you always been asleep. But like, well, y'all, we ain't gonna never come out of slave, y'all. I mean, they still here. They got the land. Now they trying to hold the land been hostage. I'm just trying to figure out what's it gonna take for y'all to quit fighting each other and start standing up for your bloodline. Like I keep telling y'all, we can read as many books. Yeah, we can read as many motherfucking books from that motherfucking reconstructive area. We can read all the books we want, but if your family ain't in those books that you reading, what does it motherfucking matter at this time? Because all of it's preservation.
I just want to acknowledge Chief Ishkatani in the chat. Chief Ishkatani was the one that gave me Empress Rarebird's information, and I called her, and she called me back, and we had the best conversation. But I just want to thank you, Chief Ishkatani, for doing that. You know the struggles we've been through for years now. But that's it.
They think this is an easy job. This ain't an easy job. And some of y'all don't need to be chiefs over nobody but yourself. No, nobody, because chief is just the face. The chief is the face. It's the people that's behind you, that's backing you, that tells you what to do. Y'all think it's just, I'm the chief and I'm going to come out here and say what I want. And you can't say what you want to every chief, because some chiefs will be goddamn it to scalp your ass and see that one chief out there for your ass. See, if we keep trying to tell y'all, this ain't a game out here. Y'all just on here playing. You playing, Chief. Where your clan mothers at?
That's what I was about to say. It's the clan mothers that makes the decisions anyway. It's the clan mothers and the council that makes all
that's a lost part of our culture that's critical to recover. That's what they don't know. That's why I told you the Empress is reviewing all of the clan mothers' declaration. Is being prepared when she deliver it, and every, like for instance, Chief Sun Copper Empress, y'all can read it and just put y'all name in the name slot, and it's the same. All of the clan mothers' voices need to be heard so that they'll know that this is not one group of people trying to take over for everybody, but it's a small group that's trying to get everybody what they rightfully own by birthright. I could care less if you ain't got no birthright to the land that you don't get no land. Because everybody ain't supposed to be in charge of the land. You ain't responsible.
That's right.
You ain't even responsible with your own social media site. How the hell you gonna be responsible to govern over thousands of people on a plot of land because it's inherited through your family line, and you might not even be the one that's supposed to be the heir?
Say that.
Because it ain't always who you think. Sometimes the heir is the one. Normally they're the black sheep, the one don't nobody expect to be about shit.
Okay.
They end up taking the most punishment because they have to be refined the hardest and made the strongest. You can't be made the strongest with no opposition, with no resistance. All that's gonna do is make you subtle and weak.
That's right. And they have some chiefesses putting in that work, like Chief Blue Feather. I got to give it up to her. She's putting in that work, and we know who's putting in that work and who's not.
When Empress Redbird called for the tribe mothers to give them the statement, make sure that all of the ones read it out in the public record, because this is what we follow in our traditions. In spite of their position on the land, we still following the tribal way.
That's right.
And once these mothers.
Tribes. Y'all wasn't living like tribes no more. And that's what it said. Y'all don't operate, y'all lost your culture. I mean, you ain't out here doing what you was doing at first before they got here. Now you just out here wilding out, doing all kind of fuckery and foolishness. But then, y'all want us to, y'all keep saying Generation X failed y'all. Generation X didn't fail y'all. I mean, you do have a mother. And 9 times out of 10, you do have, if your grandmama's still living and your mama's still living, those would be those who should have gave you the information, not me. My grandmother and great grandmama and them did their fucking job. They had family reunions. They told us exactly who the fuck we were. So I wasn't failed. So please quit saying that dumbass shit that we failed y'all. No, the fuck we didn't. Because matter of fact, I was born in 1971. I was still a teenager and goddamn it in the 80s. So how the hell I fell out?
How do you nowadays? I'm sorry.
I was born in 68.
Oh, okay, again. Chief Redbird said she was born in 67.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a couple years older than me. So yeah, and like I was explaining to you, Chief Son, now when we had that conversation, y'all cannot say that people failed you. Let me tell y'all what took place with the CIA. From the moment they had the Vietnam Wars, they gave our men fucking drugs. Then they brought it home to America on this soil and then started giving you teas and blues and damn heroin. And from heroin, you went into cocaine. And from cocaine, you went into ready rocks and fucking guns in your fucking communities. See, all this was a agenda. It's called warfare. Whether it's silent or whether it's all fucking war. They took our babies that didn't have nothing because their mothers was on drugs. So they went out and started getting how they was living. They had no food. They had nothing in their houses. So they started going out here robbing and unaliving every motherfucker that they thought was trying to stop them from goddamn it living. Now, how can you say that we failed y'all and it wasn't us? They've been on our goddamn ass ever since they got here in 1890. They've been here. They came here as militias, and they came here to take the goddamn land. It ain't been that long ago. Y'all keep going way back into the goddamn 1700s. They took our shit in the fucking early fucking 90s, 1900s. You ain't got to go back that far.
So that was the result of the Contra War contract. When Noble Drew Ali got here, and he was a high chief, he's supposed to bring an end to the contract. But when he seen that we had been undereducated and miseducated, he couldn't put us in charge when we was dysfunctional. It's right in the oral statements and prophecies. He said, literally, and all of the Moors from the Moorish saints know what I'm talking about. He said, I'm going to lead these people in power long enough for you to learn how to run a government. Right? We was almost 100 years into the 200 years of warfare, of learning and training and erudition to prove that we was competent to recover what was rightfully ours. Garvey came at the same time Noble Drew Ali was here. He had to stand down. We don't know Garvey built the old army, but if you go look at him, you'll see the soldiers behind him in all of the group pictures. He's marching armies down the street, literally, not figuratively. He had the women auxiliary and nurses, right, that would have been what we call the doulas and the midwives. And then he had put them together. The Red Cross copied everything he did in order to be a global aid organization working for Switzerland. We don't even know that the Red Cross is the Swiss flag in reverse. Because they're not operating in Switzerland, they can't use the same flag because Switzerland's supposed to be neutral. So what they do, they flip the flag inside out. When they flip the flag inside out, notice the Red Cross is the only organization, no matter who going to war, can go right in the middle and help both sides. But both sides is being funded by the International Monetary Fund and World Bank straight out of Switzerland. They funding both sides of the war.
Which is the Blue Cross.
That's all I'm saying.
You're
and
right.
so
That's it crazy.
when they came over, they came out of the lodge of the Scottish Rite. The 32 degrees was the highest ranked one over there. The 32 degree Scottish Rite gave us the George Washington challenge. We ain't never supposed to figure that shit out. We ain't never supposed to look at the Constitution and say, that shit look like it's written in blood. We don't know the science of the grimoire. We don't know the science of the numerology. We don't know the science of the gematria. We don't know none of the sciences that they use to oppress us, but we had people to tell us. We had C. Freeman Hill tell us the occult aspects of the bondage. We had Bobby Hemmett come flat out and tell you that we suffering for something called the great debauchery done by what he called human artificial. Bobby even said, go back, this started long before there was anybody known as a white man. So who the fuck is they? In the South of the United States, it's called the Black Hand, but we don't know the history of the Negro Brotherhood of Spain that brought the regalia of the KKK over here, led by a Negro with a black hand that was dangling from under the white robe. That's why they call it the Black Hand. Everybody in the South know that the Black Hand is the most treacherous shit on the land. Who is they and where they come from? When you start reading the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, then you read the rise and fall of Nazi Germany, then you read Mein Kampf, then you read the Georgetown University History of the World and Oxford University History of the World. The Black Hand is in Europe. The Black Hand is all through the Iberian Peninsula and it's all over America. Who in the fuck is they and where they come from? Right? They ain't us. Right? But whoever they is, they apparently look like us because our people can't tell us apart. You got the flow, Empress.
So, oh, look, we got a feedback. Okay, Chisan, I can't remember what all the questions that you wanted to ask, Chisan. Now, you You got some more things that we had discussed yesterday.
Yes, about it's a big confusion about the Masonic thing too. Like she's a Mason, she's in the Masonic. Blah, blah.
She had to. They don't even know what the Masons is. First off,
bricklayers. We were the original bricklayers. It's a bunch of that in New Orleans. I mean, we have the whole street, like right around Chapultula's territory. The bricklayers made it out, and they said it was the Masonic order, which was the bricklayers, the melanated bricklayers.
Let's delve a little bit into the Masonic Lodge. First of all, there's not just one lodge. It's not one type of Mason. It's multiple, right? And each one of them come from a different occult background. And there used to be the rites of passage in Egypt, in America, long before these modern Masons was usurped. They start using our rites of passage to manipulate us into following false doctrines and dogma. We embrace wholeheartedly the dogma and reject anything got to do with our culture. When she hold up her Masonic badges, that's they surrender to her as the Great Mother. Here, you got more right to this lodge. She's the mother of all lodges and the mother of all tribes by title. That means she can't take sides with one tribe over another one if she wants to. It's the same with me. I can't take sides with the GDs over the Vice Lords or the Peace Stones because
you have to be neutral. That's right.
I got to be able to fight for their chiefs the same way I fight for mine.
That's right.
Right. That don't mean we trying to take over their shit. It means that at a certain point, when you become self-aware and you become aware that you're going through your initiation rites as an elder, that you begin to see things between the tribes that you don't agree with, the separation, right? When I was in Chicago and I was staying with my auntie, Aunt Maggie, that's my Maggie Mayline Blue House. My cousin Craig, who was the cardinal, right? He was a Harper Cardinal. And he was the one who told me, because I couldn't understand why we called Jeff Chief Malik and why we call Larry Chief Hoover. How we get two chiefs? He said they're two different tribes. Now I'm jammed up into a position now, because if we got two credible chiefs from two different tribes with two different functions, what's Larry's function? They've been telling us the whole time he's the chairman of the board. That means that when all of the chiefs get together, they give him a document or a report from what they see. He put all the reports together and he make a speech to the public as the chairman to tell them what's wrong with the land and why we not functioning like a proper tribal structure. Who came, what happened? In the literature, it say he got to identify who, what, when, where, why, and how. So when he told me we brain banging, I got my feelings hurt because I wanted to bust somebody upside their motherfucking head. But no, I had to go hit the books. So I consume libraries of data and information. I got more books in my house right now than most of these libraries. I got totes full of books. Right? I don't just got the books because I want a book. I don't even like to read that much. But I've been reading my ass off because they say if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. I want to see what they're hiding from them niggas. I'm nosy. I need to know. But when I start reviewing the information now, my whole perspective and my whole dynamic has to shift. My paradigm has to shift because what I'm reading and what I'm seeing didn't originally match until I moved some stuff around in the information on a what if problem solving, right? So they told me that the paleface was in the caves and hillsides of Europe until like 2,000 years ago, maybe 3,000. In the historical record, they've been here 8,400 years according to ancient Egypt. So if they only 8,400 years old and they was coming from the caves of Europe, how in the hell they take down some Star Walkers?
Mm.
How can a band of chimpanzees overthrow the whole U.S., Russian, and Chinese armies combined? That don't make no motherfucking sense to me. So the only way it could possibly work is somebody with the level of intelligence we have to be behind these unbrilliant individuals to make them appear to be brilliant. And to tell us, y'all keep putting yourself in this amen spell because you keep telling your inner God it ain't time yet, stay hidden. I'm going to implement the I-10 spell, which is God at high noon, the moon, the sun at high noon. That motherfucker can't be missed. That's the I-10 God, the known God, the God that's at the apex of his reign as God in the sky. So the sun of the sky represents the sun of the earth. The S-U-N is the symbol for the S-O-N. But everybody thinks that the S-O-N is the one. No, the S-O-N is going to come telling you about his mama. Nigga, I'm a mama's boy. I'm still my daddy's son, though. I don't get it twisted.
That's right.
Right? So my mama always told me I was her right-hand man. What the fuck do that even mean? Why did she tell me that? Right? And everything I learned, my mama taught me how to fish. She taught me how to garden. She taught me how to do laundry. She taught me how to cook. I don't want why I'm the only boy in the kitchen with the girls. Mama, why I'm the only boy in here? Because you need to know how to take care of yourself because you're going to be an asset to whatever woman gets you. Now get in here and stir up this damn cake batter. Okay. She's instilling value in her child that's overlooked by the average mother. Which tells me my mama had to be above average. And she did tell me that the seventh child is special. And she's a seventh child, so she should know. All her siblings say that my mama been taking care of them since she was 9 years old. And some of my uncles and aunties is years older than my mom. My mama say they get hungry and the kids ain't got nothing to eat. They send her down to the market. Because she looked like Shirley Temple. And so she just go and pick what she want. They won't give her no shit. But if one of my chocolate aunties and uncles went in there, they run them up out of there. Right? Now, in our family dynamic, we have the light skin, dark skin war. My mama told me, no matter what you see, don't take sides in that shit because it don't got nothing to do with you. This war is going on long before you came. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of war is you having in the family? About skin color. That's confusing to me, but she was showing me a bigger dynamic.
I got a quick question for you, Rod.
Shoot.
I know some people probably be thinking in their mind, where your bloodline come from? Like,
my mama is from Macomb, Mississippi. My father is from Canton, Mississippi.
Hold up. You know why? Listen. Hey, hold on, Copper. Let me talk to him about that. You know why I asked that? Because I'm sitting here looking at your Hayes last name, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to ask him because my ancestors are the Ross Stewart, Williams, Jackson, all of that from Macomb, Magnolia too. And so when I seen Hayes, I was like, I'm gonna have to ask him, is he from they family from Macomb? Because I got a big Hayes family in Macomb.
My Hayes family side is Canton. My mama comes off the Johns. Her maiden name is Johns. Her father name was Hezekiah, but they used to call him Hezekiah because they thought that was the right way to spell it. But his mama named Hezekiah for a reason, right? It was a code flip. Now the Hezekiah, my grandfather, He was the medicine man. They came from men, impotent men came from far and wide to get him to make them elixirs so that they could be virile again. People came to him to get cancer cured, syphilis. When they was running Tuskegee experiments, he was a problem.
Medicine man.
Because he was healing people with the syphilis and they didn't like it.
Yep, medicine man.
Yep.
Right?
Hey,
So now,
don't I be telling you that all the time? My grandmother, she was the medicine mama down in Ponchatoula. Yep.
mm-hmm.
So I have a question too. I'm just hearing now, you know, over the years I've been on this earth, 63 years, going on 64. All through the years, I've been hearing that Emmett Till was murdered by a Ku Klux Klansman. Recently, a young lady named Tia, she said that he was a chief, and that's why he was murdered.
He was Chief Littlehorn, but he hadn't realized who he was yet. He hadn't even figured out that his name was Chief Littlehorn. It was some niggas that went and got him, first and foremost. They lied on the pale face. They paid the woman to say he whistled at her after the fact. But it was some melanated nappy head motherfuckers went. They said the reason they did it was because they didn't want the Klan to burn the town down. That's the cover story they gave us. But the real chiefs know that part of the war was them knowing who we was before we did, and that they was removing us by homicide.
Okay, I got something to ask you. There was one of the questions that everybody keep bringing up on TikTok over there. They was concerned with her going to Africa, and Africa is on that allodial title at the bottom of the title. It says it has Africa on it.
Okay. What's the concern though?
I guess they're trying to say that how she's claiming the land if I guess they think she's from Africa.
Okay, let's talk about it. The allodial title, if they held it over here, we would have found it and took it from them. Can't hold it over here. Where they gonna keep it at?
I figured that you had to go internationally to do that. It came to my mind. I said, because really, we would have to bring these people before the international court. You know?
That's who they took us in front of when they said we crashed our landmass into the good ship Plymouth in order to get us under admiralty jurisdiction. But international court, everybody think it's the UN. The UN is a Johnny come lately. The international court, which is really the court of the royal families, that they hold each other accountable for they governing other people. They the ones was holding all this stuff until we become competent. Once we become competent, we follow our own traditions. You can't use paperwork to get out of a slave system that's founded on that same paperwork. The enemy's never going to give you a remedy to beat him. Our remedy to overcome this obstacle is to put the tribe mothers back in charge, and that automatically defuncts their system. It makes their system null and void. But we don't know that, because we don't know that the reason they don't want us following the oral tradition of the tribes, the only purpose we use paperwork for is to see what's already been said. It's the decree of the mothers that matter. Right? It's when Chief Sundial and Copper Empress decide to assert their jurisdictional right according to the law of the land, not the law of the admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, that they got a blood right and they got a grandmother clause. The grandmother clause is the matriarchal right to restore balance to earth at the close of every age. It's the oldest contract grandfathered in when anytime the matriarchs see that the earth is in distress. It don't have to be the matriarch. It could be one of us men find the earth in distress and you find out the matriarch's not in power. Well, what the fuck going on and where they at? Chief Sundial ain't hiding.
See,
Copper Empress ain't hiding.
See, the thing is, how people so messed up from that fucking baby formula, they can't even get it together. They don't realize that they've been fucked up from the time they came out the womb because they never had a chance to bond with the mother's breast. They've been given chemicals, and now a lot of y'all is out here acting up, acting a whole motherfucking fool. I mean, from the bouncing up your ass all across TV, across the goddamn stages. I mean, we could go on and on how degenerate these motherfuckers are out here acting. You know,
listen, Bobby Hemming say, forget moralism. This ain't got nothing to do with moralism. The reason why these women is shaking their ass is because the uterus is a musical instrument. And when the women stop dancing, the earth stands silent. I don't care what kind of dance they doing. As long as that uterus is following the rhythmic flow, is communicating with Prime Creator directly, Jesus on the motherfucking main line, and Jesus is ISIS, and all women connected through the uterus.
Not on the main line.
The main line. That's portal to portal communication from any mother to any to Prime Creator at any time. When a woman really in distress and she cross her hands on her uterus and call that dark mother help, she getting out of that situation. I guarantee you that. Every one of these women that's become seasoned elders in our community is aware that there's a force and power they can call through focusing on their uterus that never fails to protect her and her children. How you think a 280-pound mama bear fight off a 575-pound male bear to protect their cubs? There's something else going on there.
That's right.
Because she's using more than one of the laws of nature. If you use 2, that triple your power. If you choose 3 laws of nature, you got exponentially. Now you 4 times your power in.
That's right.
In the women is the first law of nature is self-preservation. Second law of preservation of species and kind. That activation of those 2 laws alone gives the mother an extra ferocity in which to fend off the attacking predator that would assault their youth. You got a 105-pound mama whose son is trapped under a car. Where'd she get the strength to pick a whole car up?
She lifts that car up. That's right.
This is recorded stuff. This is not nothing I'm making up.
That's right. And I've seen that too.
How she picked that whole car up? Because the God force is strongest at the mitochondrial source. If you think that we don't need woman, turn your mitochondria off and tell me how long you're going to live. That's all I want to know. Because you're not going to be here unless the women agree that you are fit to walk the earth as a man, or else they'll collectively turn your mitochondria the fuck off. They'll say you had a heart attack or a stroke or unknown cause of death. But when you ain't doing your part and enough women say you a piece of shit, you out of here. Something gonna happen to you. And even now, if one woman wrong, a consensus of women to correct her. That's why a lot of women don't want to be in the sister group, because they don't want to be corrected for their errant behavior.
That's right.
Women hold each other accountable faster than men do. And if you know you the mother of a clan, a matriarch, you gonna hold all of the matriarchs to your level of responsibility. Because if I got to do it and I'm the mama, you got to do it too, because it's right. Not because we want you to do it, just because it's right.
That's right.
Mama don't feed the babies just to be feeding them. She nourishing them to become adults as part of her role as mother. As soon as she hit that frequency she be in when she's singing and dancing in the kitchen, stirring that pot, now you're getting some soul food cooking.
That's right. I have another question, because it seems to be a confusion on TikTok, like my boy Zoe said, about the Moore thing, saying, oh, she's a Moore. She's a Moore because she wants to release Dr. York, or she wants to release all of our political prisoners. You know what I'm saying? I want to release all of our political prisoners. I wish we all had that power to do so, which we will if we come together. So you explain about that Moore versus Indian concept.
This is we call the Moors righteous Moors and dirty Moors. It's two groups. This go back to the George Washington challenge. The word Moor and the word Cherokee is what you call a catch term. They exonyms thrust upon us by invaders. We didn't name ourselves Cherokee. We didn't name ourselves Moor. And the Choctaw is a European pronunciation of Chata.
That's right. Chata.
Right. So we didn't invent those terms, but since they classified us, we have to still capture what's called the source document. Right. And capturing the document, you got to identify its true intended purpose. Like everybody think that the recognition of the corporation with the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, especially the Moors, that them being the first to recognize America, they don't even realize that it was called the Royal Moroccan Company. It wasn't a nation of people. It was a holding of the French and Spanish crowns, right? The Royal Moroccan Company was literally owned by Spain, but when they sold a protectorate agreement, when French sold a protectorate agreement to the Louisiana Territory to the English, now the English have several companies operating in America. They had a Northwest Trading Company. They got the Virginia Company. They have the Southeast Trading Company. Several companies, but they all coming over here for one intended purpose, and it's all on the record. They came over here for resources. They came over here to collect the furs from our animals. They came over here to steal our wealth in the ground, what we call mineral wealth. And they came over here to subjugate the people. They told us this. This is not a secret. But we got a selective memory when it comes to us. If we can't be the victim, we don't want to be in it. I ain't never been nobody's victim, and I ain't never been nobody's slave.
That's right.
But I will victimize a motherfucker that's trying to make me and my people slaves. I guarantee you that. When this shit happen and we get to pull that guillotine, I want to pull the first lever, and I want them to all be connected so we can have a guillotine concerto of these dirty motherfuckers losing their head. Right? So she's not one of them dirty Moors. You can call her a Moor by the definition of the catch term. That's Aksumi. Dark-skinned, woolly-haired people. That's it.
That's it.
No matter where you come from, if you dark-skinned, woolly-haired, under the Moorish doctrine, you classified as a Moor. But what about the Tawny Moor? Or the Berber Moor? Do we even know what they is? Why they call them that? Noble Ali said get a good Moorish education. Why did he tell us that? Right? Then he say, at the end, I can count the number of Moors that's going to make it on one hand and still got fingers left. Now, what's the most amount of people that can make it and have plural fingers left? Just 3. So if Noble Jew Ali, the father of the Moorish Science Temple, say only a handful of Moors gonna make it, no, I can count how many Moors gonna make it on one hand, right? Then what is he telling you? He also say in the Oral Statements and Prophecy, this is crazy to me. He also say the only thing that would surprise me is if a Moor would do right. There's the founder of the Moorish Science Temple saying this in the documents from their clan. Why is he saying this? He knew he was infiltrated. He knew they would make deals with the government to backdoor his efforts to have a tribal structure to pull us out of their jurisdiction and domain. That's how he set the Moorish Science Temple up originally. Originally, he could send the Grand Sheik to go get any tribes person from out of the judicial jurisdiction of the legal fiction because he was aware. They had to murder him, so he'll stop utilizing his power, and they can then make contracts behind his back. Whoever made the deal, it ain't going to be no secret because they the name on the contract with the government. So some people say it's Mealy. Some people say it's C. Kirkman Bay. And it's several other names of so-called reincarnated noble Jualis that came along after the fact. Right? I don't know which one of them it was, but I know somebody signed the document because the original nationality card didn't say you was a U.S. citizen on the back. And that's how he was able to get you out of the judicial system that belongs to the Crown of England. Barristers is actually the esquires and the judges of the royal family. The barristers is the legal team for Europe. And that's why the original judges over here used to wear the same wool wig they wore in England until they became disqualified under the Constitution. But they still carry titles of nobility that it identifies them as being foreign agents. All of the lawyers pick up the title of Esquire. The judges become known as the Honorable. Those are titles of nobility in Europe.
That's right. So they're foreign agents.
They all foreign agents. So to capture the bar, this was the hard part. King George III commissioned the Bar Association to establish the bar in Savannah, Georgia in 1863 to 64. And in that charter, he pretty much said to prevent us, the originals, from ever recovering what was ours, they needed to instill a judiciary. The American Bar Association was founded in Washington, D.C. later on as the parent lodge for all barristers and esquires. So you got an American Bar Association, and then each state got their own bar association, but they all are under letter patents to King George III. Letter patent means that they gave you a title that can't be hereditarily passed. Right? That means that when you become a foreign agent representative of the crown. You work for the crown, but you're a foreigner still. They gave you a title of nobility, but you can't pass it on because you only an honorary noble. Your honor. Right? They don't even look at the word Levy. Levy is the tribe of Levi in a Jewish dogma. They the ones responsible for the Babylonian money magic and legalese. Right? The legalese is just to keep us confused. They won't talk the same language as the common people. When Big Mama get back in charge, if a 5-year-old don't understand what the law is, he become disqualified. You can't enforce it. It's unenforceable. Because the law has to be clear enough that even a baby know what it say. Now you need a degree. Except some of us don't never get the alphabet, so people think we don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
But nobody never take the time to realize that all of the stuff I be saying with references, I'm not reading notes. I be saying a whole lot of shit with references with no notes. What do that mean? That mean that shit is here. I don't have to parrot nobody. I know what I'm talking about. And I know no matter who don't like it, these sisters about to get their shit back, and I'm enforcing that shit in real time. And if you think that the government don't know, can you pull up a document, Empress, and post it up here for them to see it?
What you need?
I need the cover of FEMA Continuity of Government. I need to show that cover. I've been needing to do it for a while because people don't realize that the tribes is behind this shit. We had to take over FEMA after Hurricane Katrina, but our people don't know this. We've been took FEMA over because of the mishandling of Katrina, which was deliberately done, by the way, by the Army Corps of Engineers blowing levees.
That's right. They blew the levee, and because their lease was up in New Orleans, and we know that, we know that, and a lot of people really don't know that, but it's true.
Yeah. Now look, I don't live in New Orleans. I haven't been to New Orleans since I've been home from prison in 2008, and I was locked up 16 years. Right? How the fuck I know they blew the levees?
Yep.
What make me so privy to this information? Why do I know they blew the levees? Well, everybody from New Orleans know they've been there. But why do I know and I ain't from there? Because I'm reading the culture. I'm not reading.
Because they know once you leave the land.
They're trying to displace you.
I'm sending it to Empress now. Right. That's right. That's exactly right.
They'll label the land uninhabitable.
Just send it to my email. She sent out.
I'm about to send it to you. Yes, I'm about to send it to you now.
You could have shared, and I could have shared from your computer, but it's okay.
But yeah, they'll label the land. They'll label the land uninhabitable after they do something like that because of the contamination and everything. So once they do that, then they can actually try to remove you from the land without even having no pay or anything. So yeah,
that's what they did to Ireland. That's how we end up with such a large presence of Irish in the Appalachian Mountains. Because they was trying to kill Scotia and Scotia, the sisters who were sent to civilize Ireland and Scotland. And the Templars that brought them over here was given charter to roam the land as nomads. They call them bikers today. They came over riding horses. They ride steel horses now.
Yeah, horsepower. Let me know when you send it, Chisa, now.
Okay, I'm doing that now, guys.
Well, I would definitely want to have her here. And I promise you it will be in all due respect, because I don't do all that unless you get ugly with me, and she ain't never got ugly with me, because I know people have brought up one of these other people that claiming to be a chief. Me and her had a disagreement because I raised money, and she started it and I just finished it. Because first of all, don't use me to raise money, and then don't do what the hell you say you're gonna do with the money. So I know they had brought up that, and they was wondering why I didn't speak ill of Empress Redberry. She ain't never done nothing to me, so why would I be disrespectful to her?
Look, Empress Redbird is so meek and humble.
She is. Yeah. Oh my God.
Until you disrespect her, and then she gonna talk to you like Big Mama do.
Right.
Look,
do that, because you talk crazy to my mama, I guarantee y'all think I'm motherfucking. Boy, you ought to hear my mama. She ain't gonna play with you, and I ain't gonna play with you after you disrespect her.
Yeah, so if mama like that, how she gonna raise her sons to let somebody be disrespectful to her? That's not gonna never work.
That's right.
Because the son gonna stand up for his mama.
Sure is. Sure is.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's right. I sent it to you, Empress. But I also have a question, because I've been hearing different things about the patent office. Some people said that it was the Caucasians that made it up. A lot of people said it was us that did it because they were coming stealing our land. So we developed the patent office to patent our lands. I know because I have over 20,000 acres of land patents that's in my ancestors' name. That's going to be for the people. So that's what I want to ask. What do you think about that?
So the patent, we used to just give our shit away. We didn't do stuff for financial gain. We did stuff because it was right.
Mm-hmm.
And the patent office, if you got to go to who owns it. See, when you go to look for who owned it and the owner don't show up, that's a red flag, literally. When I say a red flag, that's an emergency alert that somebody is doing something they ain't got no business doing under the pretense of legitimacy. The only thing they use.
Yes, my love.
It didn't come through. Can you try sending it again?
Oh, wow. I thought I sent it to you. There it go right there. So I don't know why it didn't go to you. Let me do it again, Empress.
Okay, and I'll say I'll try it again. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
What was on? They're still in the land, the patent office. The patent office is owned by the city-state known as D.C., which was owned by Buckingham Palace, which was legitimized by the Pope. The three city-states represents military, financial, and spiritual controls. The military controls, they stationed over here because we had the best soldiers they ever came against, and all they needed to do was figure out how to get us to fight on their behalf. Some of the generals discovered this as they moved up in the ranks, that they was working for a foreign hostile agency that was belligerent to the collective clans, which is the actual people of the Constitution. And they swore to uphold the Constitution, which was the original contract between the 5 civilized tribes and the settlers before they usurped it with the blood oath. The blood oath makes that Constitution more legitimate than the one signed by peoples of authority. Because they put it in a book for a reason, that the blood of the righteous shall not be spilled in vain. Meaning whatever they conjure up, if they use the blood of the righteous, that has to be fulfilled before you could close out the contracts. The George Washington challenge was, in 200 years, are we going to know what side of the water we originated on? Are we going to know the difference between us and the ones who went into the conjure war with us? They call them Moors, but they came over, they was English, French, Dutch, Portuguese, Spanish, and they was all classified as Judean. They did that on purpose. And they said in their book that God promised the Jews a homeland of their own. How can he promise them something? If he was God, he would have created the homeland when he created them. Scroll down so they can see what's written on the face of the document. Now you see where it say guide to continuity of government for state, local, and this is the part that applies to us, tribal and territorial governments. They gave us everything back, and they told us in the form of the Indigenous Rights Act of the United Nations and the Indigenous Rights Act of the United States. But the caveat or the warning, caveat emptor, buyer beware, is that if we don't use our tribal oral tradition and we try to file paperwork, it comes back void. They can't legitimize you because you're more legitimate than they is. Now, everybody should be able to see that it's safe for state, local, and tribal government.
Yep.
Right. So the tribes is involved reclaiming the land. The location that they going through, all of the different, because we have to change the lay of the land by changing the lines of demarcation. The lines of demarcation is what separate massive territories one from the other. They had a plan. If you go to Google images and put in the 13 central banks, you'll see how they divided America up among themselves because they swore we was going to lose.
Yeah, they thought we wasn't going to ever wake up. But see,
Right. So they set up 13 territories, and each one of the so-called 13 families that is banking interests. You see, the banking interest, she had to go back to the other screen in order for you to see that document you're holding up. Can you put her on the screen by herself so she can show these what she's showing?
What I need to do?
Can you put Chief Sunil on by herself so she can show these documents she's showing?
Yeah. Let me close this top sharing screen.
Okay, Empress. I just want to show y'all these. See that?
Let me get it right. Hold on, let me figure this out. I know it's one of these ways. No, not.
Look, the Bureau of Land Management was created for the purposes of squatters' rights. They had the squatter rights come from the salvage right, and the salvage right is what they use to annex the land from the tribes and give them to farmers. Now the same farmers. What'd you say, Empress?
I was telling her she could show it now because she's there by herself.
And this is my people. My people did that because they were trying to steal their land and kill them off. So my people got their patents. It's over 20,000 acres here. It's in Texas. It's definitely say Indian territory.
Raise it up some, Chief, because I think what you call this. Raise it up in the back. Yeah, turn around. Okay, yeah. Come over this way back. Yeah, there you go.
See, that's that stamp back there. And that's why you can still load your title or patented land, because it have that.
Yeah. So one of the things that a lot of us don't know is the reason we can't sell the land because we consider it all sacred land because our ancestors is buried from coast to coast. So you can't sell sacred land. The chiefs, when you go back and look, you got all kind of chiefs telling the invaders that they can't sell them the land because they don't own the land. The land belongs to the Great Mother. They telling us that we can contract with them and allow them to settle the land. All of the chiefs said, you can come over here in peace, but we can't sell you the land. So what did they do? They made chiefs by presidential decree.
Okay, Michael Hotnick Indian said, real question is what's the difference between land deeds, land patents, and land wills?
The deed is a tenant agreement.
Right.
The land patent is a landlord right to rent and do commerce on the land. And a loyal title is the actual ownership of the land.
Of the land, that's right.
Now, some of us had to keep a court record continuously running to prove that we never surrendered.
That's right. And that's what my people did.
Yeah. So you see a lot of us with paperwork like you have that's been fighting the government to no avail.
Hey, Rod, he said land will, which is the same pretty much as an allodial title. A land will is like a last will and testimony with the patent in it. And so like what Chief Sunil was showing, a last will and testimony with the patent in it. That's actually the same thing as an allodial, which means that it'll say on it when it was signed originally, it was more than likely signed by a president of that time. And then also say It'll also say on the bottom of it that this land cannot be sold. It will be forever inherited, and it can never be sold forever. So
Right.
it's yeah,
That's,
it's
Because
the same
this
below.
was James Buchanan, the president.
Yes,
Yep, yep, yep.
I see a question that I heard them say over there. Does a allodial title only? Just seen it in the chat because I heard somebody say, does a allodial title only done in about 3 states? They were saying, I heard somebody say that they were saying that over there, that it only applies into 3 states.
That's not true.
okay, so you got something called the fruit of the poison tree doctrine. When we season these deeds, everything that came afterwards was seized as well. So when you look at her land patent, it goes back to like 1540, and then they certified that she was the heir, the rightful heir. They know who we are. We just don't know.
Facts. I'm trying to see what year this one was in.
Listen, y'all, in the chat, I told y'all this will be a respectful live. If y'all don't like what's going on, this will not be the live for you. Because everybody don't have to agree. We can just be respectful towards one another. So if this is not the live for you, come back another day. I got more lives I'm getting ready to do because I didn't get to do the one we was going to do about the Asian chief son now.
Yes, when you walk into the home, you take your shoes off and you be respectful.
Respectful, yeah. I don't get it because y'all never see me come over there and do all that in your live like that. So just be respectful. Take your shoes off. Get comfortable. If this is where you want to sit and listen. Other than that, I'm pretty sure you on YouTube. There's a plenty of people live on. Somebody done did a live today that you can go back and listen to.
This one was Ulysses Grant right here. It's different ones.
Girl.
Who you laughing at?
So since we're talking about
that's in Unison Square in Louisiana.
I'm sorry?
You said that's in Unison Square in Louisiana?
Oh, it's different places in Louisiana, but the 17,000 is in Texas.
Oh, okay. No, because my great grandmother, she had a lot to do with that area of Louisiana called Eunice, and that they carried their name on through the family, Eunice. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I have a Mexican land grant as well, but they made part of Mexico, Texas. So
hey, can y'all excuse me for 1 minute?
Sure.
Like I said, y'all, we will get it set up for Empress Red Bread, I'm so sorry. Rare.
No, you can take it off a big screen, Empress, and put everybody in.
I will get everybody. I will get it set up and make sure that will be her. I want to make sure I talk to her.
And if y'all can, please go sign up for her free classes because she's teaching you about banking. She's teaching you because everything is about to stop. Everything is about to stop. Everything is going to stop. They're going to stop that money because that money is fake. You're not going to be able to wipe your behind with that money. So she's showing you how to transition into your rightful place as far as banking and stuff like that, because the bank shouldn't stop because, so we should own the banks, period. That's another thing, that we should be the bank owners.
Yes,
and not relying on these corporation banks that's been stealing from us forever by having us as minors.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all people need to choose the fight because baby, everyone ain't meant for this, and choose your battles and choose them wisely.
You know what? I've been quiet, man, for a minute, man. I'm finna say some stuff, and it might rub people wrong, but to be honest, man, we got the power to take over everything.
Yes, we
Everything
do.
down to the nickels and pennies and everything. And see, we gotta boost our confidence in our people. Everybody gotta start lifting each other up, man. Because the problem is that's why don't nobody believe in nobody, because guess what? Don't nobody have the confidence to give that opportunity to believe in the next man. And so us as the copper color indigenous autonomous Americans, man, we got to start standing up for each other. Even if you don't agree with what I say, hey, so what? Hey, I got to defend you if I don't like you. So I want you to defend me the same way. So this is how we got to stand and build confidence within each other. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that we're going to be strong, you know?
I say they better not mess with you, Zoe Hustles. They're here for me.
See, the thing is,
hey,
we have allowed the world to see how dysfunction. You know that we have allowed the whole world see how dysfunction we are. They sitting back laughing because they're going to holler, they can't never get this country back. Look at them over there, acting a whole fool. You want the land back? Stand up and let's get the land back. Because trust and believe, America is so big, you can be on the other side and we'll never see each other. And they ain't got to get that.
We'll never know. 5 acres would be so big you don't know. I mean, come on.
I mean, look at it like this. They're bringing people in here, buying up the land. And I asked them, don't y'all know there's a Chinatown in every motherfucking state? Don't y'all know there's motherfucking other towns, Italians? I mean, everybody got their own shit. Y'all not mad about that? Because they got your land. Y'all not mad about that? Not only do they got the fucking Chinatown, those fucking casinos y'all niggas running to, do y'all think that the goddamn natives own? They don't. China own them. Now, how y'all feeling about that? China own those motherfucking, they just paying them that, under the table because they paying to be here on the land. So they're paying them the hush money because they're not the original people. They ain't nothing but dirty money that they're washing.
And that's why I have a question. How could they sell Louisiana if they wasn't the original landowners?
They didn't sell Louisiana. They sold the Port of New Orleans that they captured. And the rest of the territory, they had what's called a protectorate agreement with the tribes that was from there. Don't invade us and we won't fuck you up. When they left, they sold the protectorate right to the English. The English sent out Lewis and Clark along with Benjamin Banneker, who was a translator in Sacagawea, to survey beyond the Appalachians to determine the magnitude of the wreck on the interior. When they found out that we had all left the castles and to fight the Gullah Wars, they couldn't understand why you got straight-haired natives and nappy-haired natives fighting together. So they said the nappy-haired natives was runaway slaves. They wasn't slaves, they was chiefs that brought armies of what we call Afro chiefs that brought armies with them to fight the Gullah Wars. We don't know our history because if we did, we would know that the Sobek priests over here was the ones who worked with the alligators. And the alligators, they used to ride them in war and sick them on the enemy, just like you sick a dog on them. They discovered that we was using the alligators, so they started kidnapping our babies, doing some shit called gator baiting. They did that to give the children a taste of the blood of us, because they wouldn't attack us. Now, they took all of our cypress trees out of Florida. Now, we don't know that Florida had cypress trees tall as California redwoods when they came. But if you take 75 through Florida, past serial killer lane, that little stretch of highway where the serial killers like to leave their bodies, and then you get down a little further, you'll see all of these scorched trees that's in the water from when they burned down the forest trying to burn us out. It's the evidence is still there. You see the old bridges they burned down right next to the bridge you own as you go down into the Keys. They burned the bridges down to stop us from being able to link up. Right. They got us believing that the bridges is some new shit to America. And some of these bridges, they call suspension bridges, been here since before Columbus came. But we think they all new. The people that got the last name Bridges and the last name Towers They was building bridges and towers, literally. That was their family profession.
That's
Their
right.
family business. Right? We had the greens. The greens was responsible for making sure the foliage on the land was compatible. For example, the Three Sisters planting method, right? Then you got the farmers who used to run the farms. Then all these last names. Then, like my name, Hayes. The Irish rendition is Hays, and they use the name Hayes because they used to be hay farmers.
Mm-hmm.
The name Hayes from the tribal is from the word Haya. Hayas, which is the native pronunciation in English, becomes Hayes. All they do is change the last A before the S into an E. Hayas is the tribe, the Mississippians, that most of the Hayokas come from. Like, here's of a clown. What's his name? Smokey Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Smokey Robinson is a Hayoka priest, high priest. And his job is to sing and dance. That's what he was born to do. This is why he was so good at writing songs. They don't know that all of the music of the world came from America.
Yeah.
And they don't know that opera is not even supposed to be an art. It's a training formula to learn how to control the voice. If you look at the history, you will see that these people went from singing operatic, sounding like they're in an opera, to what we call rhythmic soul music. Right? They used to sing by training. It wasn't natural to them until they got that drop of blood. Right? So they came over to the great melding pot, the God's crucible is what they call it, in order to blend two hostile people together. How the hell you gonna do some shit like that? They say from chaos comes the order. So when you look at all of the chaos across the land and you look at what's going on, you talking about the people that never ruled shit. They needed a time to rule too. They not eternal beings. But if they get a drop of blood, they'll be eternal. In the meantime, the strongest got to take the position of last because they strong enough to take it. And these people have to go through a catharsis of lower desires and base traits, developed as an Iceman inheritance. That's a book reference. That develops a psychological, psychopathic racial personality. That's a book reference by E. Wright. Right? So when they go through this catharsis and they get that drop of blood, now they feel on a whole different level. That's why they always like white people always trying to experience death. Paleface ain't white. First off, he's just a lighter shade of brown.
That's right.
Next thing is the reason why they responded like that, because they was never created to be eternal beings, which is the great debauchery that Bobby Hemmett talks about. They call them pale-faced Neanderthals. No, Neanderthals was gone long before the first pale-face popped up. That means that your Cro-Magnon man, your Zingalopithecus, your Australobustus, your Australopithecus, Homo erectus, all of them was niggas. So the Neanderthal was a nigga too. He was just a different breed. But he was still a nigga. He was gone long before the first paleface popped up 8,400 years ago. So somebody ain't telling us the whole story, or they controlling the narrative in order to subjugate the people. I'm going to pick the latter. They controlling the narrative to subjugate the people.
That's right.
They try to say all those things are out of Africa.
No, they got older skeletal remains of humans from the Americas than they do from Africa.
Yep, they found one graveyard right here in New Orleans that was older than.
That's all I'm saying. Adam was only Adam was supposed to be created 6,000 years ago.
Yep.
You know about those skulls they found over in Salt Lake City?
Mm-hmm. I have a
Yep.
patent for Utah.
Yep.
Look, they found an ancient burial site in Florida. They found one in South Carolina. They found one in North Carolina. Then we ain't even got to the Arizona yet. By the time we get to Arizona, we're going to realize that the original temple of Isis that the Vatican usurped was there.
It's right there in that Grand Canyon.
There you go.
Right there.
This was the original Atlant. They call it Atlantis. We call it the Great Atlant.
The most spiritual land ever. Besides
Yep.
and
Now, we did have islands that sunk, but that wasn't the totality of Atlantis. Atlantis encompassed both North South America, the islands, and the islands that sunk. The one that follows Bimini Road, right? The one that's in the Gulf, right off the coast of New Orleans that they flooded out in St. Bernard's Parish. Well, I'm making this shit up, though.
No, you're not. You're not. At all.
I got to be making it up because Rod Hayes crazy as hell and he don't know what he's talking about.
Because all of the dots are connecting, and that's the thing. You know, no matter how much pushback people are going to do, they can't stop the truth. And that's why I'm laughing, because no matter what the truth, the Williams bloodline is going to come forward. Definitely.
That's a big Tookie knock, by the way. Big Tookie was an Afro chief, still is. They froze Big Tookie. I thought he was dead. But they put him in Area 51 on ice. They literally put him in cryostasis. And they thawed him out when I told them that they had him on ice and we needed him to be a witness. He needed to be a witness for Angel Bay and Larry Hoover because we needed two reliable witnesses. When I found out he was froze, oh yeah, run that. We need that chief. We won't have to worry about the Crips if we could get him. Cause he gonna tell them every trap that they set up for us. And they gonna be listening to him better than they listen to me. And I got mad Crips and Bloods that know what the fuck I'm talking about. They're saying, get them niggas, Rod Hayes. I got Vice Lords, P Stones. They know what I'm talking about. They all want their chief. That's it. Because they know that when their chief is present, there's somebody that's going to protect their interests. I don't care which chief it is. I'm going to fight for all of them.
That's right.
Even the ones that don't even know I'm fighting for them, I'm fighting for them too. That's the audacity of leadership. To be willing to fight for somebody that will go against you at every turn just because it's right.
Facts.
You don't have to fight for them for no other reason than the fact that it's right. And they can call you what they want to call you. They can disgrace you, demean you, belittle you. But at the end, they going to be thankful that you stood up and said something with the blood and the right so that they can receive their proper due. And I don't care if they talking bad about me now. Because when they come with the portfolios and get a chief state portfolio, they're going to be like, how did you know that I was a chief? It's going to be in the portfolio. It's going to have your birth date and your projected death date. How these motherfuckers know when you supposed to die?
Right. That's true.
They know when you was born, that you a chief, and how long you supposed to be here.
And see, that's what I was saying, Empress, that chiefs are chosen. They're not, you don't pick yourself as a chief. You don't say, I'm a chief, and just all of a sudden pick yourself and put yourself out there. Chiefs are chosen. The council, the clan mothers, everybody have to choose. It have to be a decision.
I had to be approved by seven Marys. I had to have 7 Marys for godmothers. They don't literally be named Mary. Some of them is a variant, like Maria and May. Those are variants of Mary. When you talk about the land of Ta Mary, Ta means the body of something. And Mary is another name for Isis. And And most of us don't know that. But Mary is the one sitting on the Isis seat is called Mary, M-A-R-I. But the Europeans changed the I to a Y, and they defined it to mean a rebellious woman. And why did they give it that definition? All these smart niggas that say Rod Hayes don't know what he's talking about don't know. She became the rebellious woman when she wouldn't go along with the patriarchal agenda.
Okay.
Right? But when she was Mary Isis, when she was the governor of Ta Mary, right, then there was no dispute to who she was. The dispute comes in with the ones who come after the fact, believing they know all of the facts, while the enemy has concealed about 80% of the facts.
There you go.
So then somebody had to be willing to go where no nigga willing to go, to the library, where they buried everything under lies and get the truth out and present it to the people. This is why I bring receipts for everything I say, because I don't expect them to take my word for it.
That's right.
I'm using the oral tradition, but I'm showing you what's written to prove I know what I'm talking about using this oral tradition.
That's why I didn't understand. This lady bought receipts. I mean, I'm looking up there like, yes, we finally gonna come together. And then I'm looking the next day from Earth Speaks. It was just such a negativity. I'm like, yeah, these are some demons that have been sent.
Not necessarily, because the tribes, we gotta remember, all of the tribes don't always agree on everything.
Right.
If the first recognition of the recovery is supposed to elicit two responses: joy on the right side and rebellion on the left side. And you got to be between the two in order to maintain the balance. That means that you can't take sides when they start talking shit on the left side, and you can't be stuck on the right where only your chief matter. Soon as you get that through your head, we start working. Every chief is the same value to the people. It's just that they people is a different tribe, so you assume they less legitimate. We go back to the beginning of what I tell you, what we said. 5,000 plus tribes, and only 5 tribes had contracts with the enemy.
That's right.
How can 5 tribes determine the destiny of 5,000 without any input from the 5,000 chiefs?
It's
not gonna happen.
Right. You can't.
We not gonna do it. The enemy might tell you we did though. Because see, they want you to believe that we surrendered. This is a protracted struggle in the 500-year-old war.
That's right. We never surrendered.
The war evolved. That's the problem. People don't know about the evolution of warfare. If you don't know that the war evolved, you still stuck at the stage where the transition took place. You didn't see it.
That's right.
You wasn't there when the war hit puberty. You still thinking it's an adolescent. Now the motherfucker grown ass man with hair on his face, and you still thinking he's a child.
They waiting for the war to start, and it's almost at the ending.
It's at the end. It's at the end, because Big Mama came to end all wars. Big Mama came to end all the wars.
Now I guess it's just tribal beef now again. You know,
you got to remember when they came, we was already warring against each other, but our wars was controlled.
Yeah.
We used to break dance against each other.
Yeah.
We used to stand under the spotlight and fist fight.
Or wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we used to do.
Right. So all of a sudden, they turned us into what we call mortal enemies. That means a death enemy, an enemy that you put to death. We was never mortal enemies with each other. We was more like cordially disagree, nigga. We gonna box about it and let the winner take the motherfucking pot.
That's right.
That's how the knockaround game, which is your hand game. What your hands do. Right? Oh. The knockaround game is called that because you be knocking motherfuckers around. It's 210 to the chin. That's a knockout every time. So when they don't know their own culture, when they see somebody like me and the Empress step out and try to explain stuff to them,
they don't get it.
First of all, I didn't mention a chief out the gate. If you don't mention a chief out the gate, you automatically against them until you recognize they chief.
But they don't have a chief. That's the thing. They're Indians who don't have a chief talking a lot of stuff out their neck. And I'm not trying to be funny, but
they don't have. If they don't got no chief, they not no functional tribe. Because your chief had to go to the other tribes to negotiate who gonna come through your land, through your territory. Right. This is why we had scout chiefs and check-in chiefs. We don't even know what the fuck that shit is.
That's right.
The scout chief, a chief sent him to assess another chief before he arrives. A check-in chief is when you come to another native territory, you go to the check-in chief. So he gonna list you as a VIP so the tribes don't fuck you up. And so if you don't know your culture, you don't know none of that shit. If you know your culture, you'll know. You're not finna walk into the Crip neighborhood with all that red shit on and don't nobody say nothing. Somebody gonna say something. Somebody gonna touch you unless you got pass from the OGs. The OGs say we got a blood coming through the hood. He's not to be fucked with. He got permission to be on the land in our specific area. He need to be over here in order to carry out his duty to his tribe. So then they give him a pass to do business on the land. Mm-hmm. That's what the purpose of the check-in chief is, to make sure you safe and your innocent blood ain't spilt on his watch. Mm. We rebel against it because we think that the check-in chief is trying to extort us. He don't want to extort you. He wants you to be safe on his territory because he don't want your blood on his hands.
That's right.
Right. And they real big about it in Cali. If you go to Cali and you think that them motherfuckers don't know you there, watch when they pull up in droves. Don't be nobody important and you don't check in because they gonna come and tell you. They not gonna come in with rudeness. They gonna come with information. You come from the Midwest, the Far East, the Southwest, Southeast, and you don't know how we move in Cali. So let me explain it to you so you will know. And then they explain it to them. When you check in, we might have you come to the football game and watch a Little League game and sign autographs for some kids to make them know that there's a chance for them to be great too. Right? But we not finna come in and say, well, you can't be on the land unless you give us $100,000. No, that's not how the check-in chief works.
Right.
Right. In Detroit, the check-in chief is Trick. But everybody think that when he say check in, that he on some bully shit. He not on no bully shit. You got to check in with Trick so Trick can tell all of the chiefs around Detroit, hey, we got a foreigner over here that's important. That's hard. That shit hard as hell what he just said.
Facts. They claiming to be chief, but not doing chief shit. You're absolutely correct.
How everybody claiming to be these chiefs, and chiefs don't do the shit y'all doing. Really, like I said, the chief is they're quiet until they're told, you know, what they have to go out there and do, and that will be by your council, your clan brothers. You know, I don't know what y'all got going in your brain.
And also, it's not a selfish thing, man. You can't be a chief and be selfish. It's some selfish people with that. You know,
and you can't be lazy because you're gonna have a whole lot of shit to do.
That's right. That's right.
But see, a lot of us don't know you have to develop different skills according to your purpose as a chief. I'm a war chief.
That's right.
Right. But I can't indiscriminately send the tribes to war. I have to go through every other chief.
You have to go to the council.
I have to go to every other chief whose soldiers can be involved in the war and say, hey, we need to make an alliance. This is what's going on. And this is how we fix it. Problem, solution.
Yep.
Right. So when we see that the chiefs is the problem solvers of the community.
That's right.
If a 4-year-old come up with a hard ass question, the 4-year-old is the same valid as me. The child might even be more valid because he might be a recognized ancestor that's actually giving us instructions on what to fix.
That's right.
The elders are recognizing him as a returned ancestor, and they'll point out that, hey, if this baby say something, you need to listen. Because he don't talk much. So when he tell you something, there's something behind it. That's their way of saying he's a developing chief. He sees shit. He don't know what it is yet, but pay attention because he going to tell you what he see. And then when he tell you what he see, it's going to mean something. And as an adult, you might be able to see what he's trying to explain.
They want to know what's the difference between a chief and a general, who is superior.
The chiefs is the leaders of the land that was already here. The general is the title of military standing for leadership. That comes out of admiralty jurisdiction of war. Right.
I was finna say it more on the hood level. The chief is the king of the territory, and the general is his right hand of enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it in the tribal structure. See, over here in the tribes, you got what's called peace chief, war chief.
That's right.
And the war chief, when we in peacetime, takes the back seat to the peace chief. The war chief job is to strategize war, how to win the war, right? Assess the type of war we in, and to talk to the other chiefs about the war and what the resolution is.
Of course.
What you see me and Empress doing right now, Empress Redbird, we are executing the tribal traditional ways of communicating to the clans. We're not talking to the government.
That's right.
We don't give a fuck about that dead ass government. We care about our people without motherfucking no big eyes, no little U's.
I want all questions, because this is bringing it out so people can stop all this confusion. And I know people going to still think what they want. We don't care. Another thing, why did she go to the Rothschilds? Why she go to the government? Let me tell you something.
She didn't go to nobody. They came to her.
Right.
They came to her in response to the oral tradition of the people being executed.
Making a plea for our people, our political prisoners here.
Yep. So in 2019, I did a video on YouTube called The Liberation of the Leaders. Right? This after also July the 6th, I said by the blood and the right, we canceled all treaties for non-performance and fraud. Because they never honored the treaty, and they secured the treaties under fraudulent pretenses because they never intended to honor them.
Nope.
That's fraud. And fraud vitiates all contracts. That means it nullifies it. Meaning when you discover the fraud, if you continuously participate, you're a party to the fraud.
That's a fact.
But in the law, there's something called the abandonment defense. Mm-hmm. At the time you discover that you being implicated in some illegal activity and you abandon the pursuit, you can't be held liable. But if you willingly participate, you are a co-conspirator with fraudsters. That's called racketeering, and you subject to a RICO violation in the law. Right? Now, we use oral tradition and we use paperwork to determine what the oral tradition said 30 years ago. Because we went through this amnesia period, which is going to be broken when Atlas shrugged. Right? That's the death of the selfish gene. That's the end of the chapter of misery. The chapter is over, but everybody is in love with misery. They want to be the victim so bad that if you take them out of the victim seat, and put them in a power seat, they get offended. Why would you do that to me? Why would you give me all the power? I don't want the power. I want him to have the power. Leave my slave master in place. What you getting rid of him for?
That's the way they're acting. We was on the slave ships. You can't tell me we wasn't on the slave ships, and I ain't found one slave. I've been back 10 generations, all the way to the 1500s.
Look, they got Chinese ships that's damn near 10,000 years old. They got African ships damn near 10,000 years old. They've been finding them on the ocean floor, but they've never one time discovered an intact slave ship.
That's right.
They said the flotilla was a slave ship, and they got one piece of wood and one link from a chain, and it's supposed to have been a slave ship. Now, why are all of these other ships preserved, but all of the slave ships just magically don't exist? They got to be somewhere. Where they at? But while we thinking about that, if you want to know where the plot was to add to education the narrative of a slave trade, do a layover with the slave ship that they've been giving us as the popular image. It's the blueprint for the university known as Notre Dame's Cathedral. That's where the meeting took place, the meeting of the minds in the conspiracy, because you got to have a meeting of the minds. And then you got to have an overt action to execute the agreement from the convergence or the meeting of the minds. What is it? The overt action is the discovery doctrine of the Pope. This is how they implement bullshit into curriculum in order to deceive us.
That's right.
But they got to give us a means to discover what they did. And nobody would have thought to do a layover of the Notre Dame University Cathedral in the slave ship. But it's obvious to me when I look at the slave ship as some kind of blueprint.
That's right.
And then when I did the layover, I was totally befuddled. Talking about cognitive dissonance, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Excuse my French, but I was blew back. Because no regular person, I got to not be regular, would have ever thought to do that layover.
Nope.
To do it, not even to do a side-by-side comparison, because they don't know what it means. Right? The blueprint. What is a blueprint? It's the foundation of a construct. Whatever it is, whether it's a building or an automobile, you got to have a blueprint, a foundation. So if the blueprint is a slave ship, then the construct or the construction has to be present. So the slave ship layover verifies the source of the slave narrative as a means to disassociate people from lands. You tell them they came from somewhere else.
That's
reparations is what you call a backhand flip. Right? Because they trick you with reparations because those greedy motherfuckers, they're going to accept the payout. We feeling everybody that was a slave descendants $12,000. So they all run down there, sign up, say they African American, get their $1,200. Guess what? They are no longer heirs to
this land.
They surrendered their birthright.
Trust me, yes. Boy, it's. What are your thoughts, Zoe and Chief Pontiac, about all the immigration people coming over here? What do y'all think about that?
I want to say something real quick too. Before that, my man, one of the brothers in the back was asking one of the sisters. I wanted to let everybody know that your documents become alive when they're recorded.
That's right.
So people don't understand, your documents, even your life at stake right now is dead until you actually activate it with recording. So you got to be recording
everything. That's right. That's right. You're absolutely
That's why the Empress put her allodial title in the public domain.
That's
Yep.
right.
Gotta
To
be
activate her, to activate her standing on the land. That's it.
That's law. That means it's law. 72 hours is law.
My take on that's a paid act, man. I mean, it's like it's another distraction because you got to look at like they've been invading through Texas and all those areas for a minute now. Why all of a sudden, he bringing that to attention when he had 2 years to deal with that and try to straighten that out. You know what I'm saying? So it's we got a lot of distractions going on because you got to pay attention. People, it's not just 800 people of us in this bill right now. It's about 50 to 100 plus of others, you know what I'm saying, listening. So what we be talking about really do impact the government and that system itself too. So that's what I think.
From my perspective, I'm gonna tell you what I see. We reclaiming the land, and not just the land, but all of our holdings that come with the land. That's the accumulated mineral wealth for the last 500 years that they borrowed money against, called the debt. But they couldn't use our resource. They could borrow against it until we realized that's ours. Once we realize it's ours, we have to put the claim in the public domain so the rest of the tribes become aware. Right? So when I say about the blood and the right, I cancel all of the treaties for non-performance and fraud. That's the exercising of a blood right in the public domain using the archivable and timestamp medium that's acceptable in law to reach a certain quantity of people, a minimum of 1,000, in order to validate the public notice. This is what we're doing, right? Because it is the way of the tribes, not the way of the invader. It's certain stuff that we had to do that all these people talking shit never identified. They never identified when we reclaimed DC with the totem pole. They never identified that. They never identified when we overtook the United States Admiralty by sending Paleface in to stake the land flag, what we call the Republic flag, behind the Admiralty flag to secure the jurisdiction of the Republic in order to get back to the great law. We reverse engineering all of the dirt they did in their face, and our people who was talking trash is unaware. When Sipico put the Pope on notice and told her that the chiefs of the land have been selected by the mothers, and he rescinded the discovery doctrine not long after as the response, they didn't notice that. When we sent Donald J. Trump to the Philippines to get the certification for our gold, they never identified that in the public domain. I have posted several times the certificate for the gold that he had to retrieve, right? They never, once he got the certificate, now he can go tell the Pope, we want our gold. So they flew 650 plane loads, cargo planes full of our gold out of the Vatican back over here. But they didn't just return ours.
I heard they had it back on the land. I did. I heard they had it all back on the land.
You got, as the chief, you supposed to know all this shit.
That's right.
I'm not reading no notes.
That's right.
I'm not reading no note. I'm just telling them what the movement on the land is by the tribes. When I gave the description of how to reclaim the government by claiming the cities instead of trying to claim the whole thing at one time, all our people were scared to do it. So $5 Indians, ceremonial Muskogee Creek, went into Atlanta and put them on notice. The reason they selected Atlanta, because that's called the Great Gateway to the Trail of Tears. And this is the gateway to the Louisiana Territory. Everything that follows under the doctrine of the poison tree is also on notice. Notice the agent is notice the principal.
Hey, hold on, Rod. Pause for 1 second. I want to add to what you're saying so people can know this. The end of the so-called Underground Railroad stops in Atlanta. It's called the Underground. So just for people that don't know, go ahead.
They also got a shopping center down there too.
Yes, I've heard of that. I've been to
They found underground railroad here in Louisiana. Recently, I just saw the article about that.
And the Underground Railroad ain't even what they telling you.
That's right.
Facts. That's why I brought it up.
Look, they made up so many false leads to send us on a dead trail. And all of this stuff was meant to confuse us. And that's how they made the jet disappear in front of our face like it was there actually when it was just a mirage. The fuck you gonna make a whole DC-10 disappear by putting up a curtain? Make it make sense. And then you gonna tell me in the poster, the greatest illusion you ever seen, David Copperfield makes a plane disappear. Well, first of all, they told you they finna trick you. So when your dumb ass went in there talking about they'll never trick me, and you saw the plane disappear, you swore that motherfucker was there. How did he do it?
Right. Knowing his ass didn't make no plane disappear.
It's a whole illusion, and he told you in the flyer.
Sure
the poster say the greatest illusion.
They
That's
said
right.
all the Indians was gone when they got here, so that's what they did to the plane.
Of course.
Illusion.
Yeah, but they were gone all right. Misclassified as nigger, black, colored.
Exactly.
Creole, mulatto, all that shit.
Mestizo.
Yeah. Yes.
Everything but who you are. So they actually did make you disappear. Halito, sis.
Oh, beautiful. That's my daughter, Rod.
Hey.
That's the chief, the council chief.
Peace, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm at work. I don't know if y'all can hear my background, but I just was coming on here. Hey, Zoe. I was something you said and something you said. That's what made me and it's comments that I'm seeing in the chat. A lot of our people are not understanding that a lot of this stuff was done in private. We have to bring a lot of what's going on to the public, and how you do that is put that shit in a newspaper. That's how you put notice to the public. Put it in a newspaper so people can know. Court cases, all of that stuff, it has to be put on public notice. It has to be put out to the public. These people are doing this stuff in private, and we're allowing them to do it in private. They cannot do none of the stuff they're doing without our acquiescence. We are acquiescing to everything that they're doing.
And that's what Empress Rarebird was doing, putting it out in the public. She's putting everything out in the public because it's time now. It's time for all of us to come together.
I had to turn my camera around, sis. Peace, Lyric. I love you, man. I miss you, yo.
He ain't come on the screen for me.
Of course, I was gonna come on the screen for you, but I was gonna wait till the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So we all can see the copper color, beautiful people.
Your hair looks great.
Oh, appreciate it. You know, we rock the cornrows. You know what I'm saying? The cornrows. The cornrows.
But yeah, that's what I was just, one of the brothers was asking about paperwork, and your paperwork has to be acknowledged by the government. We don't need this government to acknowledge anything.
It ain't even a government. This is a corporation that y'all have signed our
That's
contract
why they still exist, because we give them power. That's why they're still able to do what they're doing. We acknowledge them. If we stop acknowledging, once we realize who we are and what our job is, then we'll understand, and they'll understand that we are here and we have risen. But
they already know.
Most definitely. So yeah, that's all I was coming to say. It's just that as far as what's going on with these courts and all of that type of stuff, it has to be put on public record. And what that means is putting it out to the public, putting it in the newspaper, and letting people know what's going on, because everything is being done in private. Everything. done it right.
The newspaper was before social media ever came into existence. The rule for public notice, you got to be able to reach a minimum of 1,000 people, and you have to have it in what's called time-stamped archivable format. Every social media platform is a legitimate outlet for public notices. Once you put it in the public domain and you list it as notice to agent is notice to principal, notice to principal is notice to agent. When you put the claim in the public domain, then you have what's called a gestation period, where the law becomes active after a period of time. Depending on what you put in the public domain, the time varies from 48 hours to 72 hours to 7 days to 14 days to 21 days to 30 days, right? Once it's on the record for a period of time, then you can go to the next step or the next phase, which will be surfacing about the end of probably next week. It's going to be around between the 20th and the 25th that the Empress putting her claim in the public domain that is actionable.
Becomes law.
Right. So the claim is already out there. Everybody who did lawsuits against the government, filed complaints with the government, they kept a living record. The living record is written in a dead language. So the dead language is Latin. We call it legalese because it's a mixture of the common language and Latin terms to confuse the layperson. That way, when they say ignorance is no excuse to the law, now everything they do in private, I call it secret squirrel shit. It's to our detriment. So everything we do has to be done in the public because every tribe member is the same equal as the chief to the chief. So we want all of the tribes to get all their shit, all of it, not just some of it. They owe us everything. And like Tupac said, we back for everything they owe. So this is the great awakening, but it's also the great recovery of the redemption of the righteous. The righteous is determined by being in the position of right and telling the truth. And if you're in the position of right and you keep telling the truth, you're going to cause a natural reaction in nature to respond to the truth that's either being ignored or acknowledged. The nature responds according to the collective will of the people. When the people realize who we are and that what me and Empress is doing is for the people, not for me and not for her, then that changes the algorithm of the great egregore, which we call the universal mind. Then Prime Creator sends source codes back to the women, and then the women become what they call a transducer, where they transfer energy mitochondrially to the men, so we know what to do. When you subjugate the women and disregard their emotional power base, their power base is rooted in emotions, but the intellect is to be guided by the emotional response, meaning that if a man understands women, his wife or counterpart will have an emotional response that tells him what's wrong. This is why we act like we just started having relationships 20 years ago. Now everybody had to go to relationship experts. We didn't need that shit. We didn't need it because we understood one thing about people. as a human, you're going to do everything that a human does to your fancy, meaning that everybody got a different taste of life as a human. But now you got to look at everything from the divine mind in order to raise yourself to a higher level. That's where we run into the problem. Because when you start talking from the position of the divine mind, you offend those who refuse to ascend. They refuse to acknowledge the wake up in another individual so they can justify themselves remaining asleep.
That's right.
And I always say this, don't nobody got to agree with me. They don't got to like me. They don't even got to care that I exist. But one thing they going to know, when it's all said and done, I've been in a position of right, telling the truth. And from that position, I'm able to cause things to change in the world around us by informing my fellow tribesmen of the problem and the solution. We already know it's a problem. The problem is the corporation masquerading as our government. That's the problem. What's the solution? Learn to run government so you can dispense with the corporation. There's not very many people that know how to run a government.
That's right.
In our community.
Let me say
but
something.
I know two of them. Go ahead, Joe.
This is to clear it up so people can understand clearly, right? Our ancestors were brilliant. Our ancestors were awesome. Our ancestors did a lot of things. Our ancestors wasn't always arms, hugs, and kisses either. But one thing our ancestors did do was create a common law system, which they manipulated into a modern law system. So for people to say that learn their law, no, it's our law. We're better at it. We learn it. We're greater at it. So we got to understand that nothing that they are trying to implement, they design. They don't design anything but manipulation and tricks. So I just wanted to land that. Go ahead, Rap.
Everybody keeps saying that we Israelites, we the true children of Israel. Everything in the Bible and Quran came with the settlers. We didn't have that shit over here. Everything in the Bible,
I appreciate you for saying
and everything in the Quran came with the settlers.
Try to tell people that.
You on mute, Lyrica.
Wait a minute. Who is Pamela Mathis? Who are you, honey? Because that wasn't. This link was just for Lyrica. I didn't have this live for open build. What the hell I just do? Okay. No, this is not an open bill, Pamela. I'm sorry, but this is not an open bill. I will be coming back one day this week so we can have more discussion, but this is not an open bill tonight. The
No, some of the brothers in the back got upset. He was like, we don't say that shit over here.
Look, so critical analysis, people, critical analysis and critical thinking and practical problem solving. I'm going to point something out. The Israelites in the Bible, they don't have a natural homeland on earth. Think about that for a minute. God promised them that he was going to give them their own homeland. What kind of God created people to live on earth without them being native anywhere? They always traveling. They never have their own land. Think about that for a minute. The Israelites is the only group of people on earth that their God got to kill off a whole group of people to give them a homeland. The Muslim God, Allah, don't even do that for the Muslims. Think about that. The God in the Bible promises the so-called Israelites their own homeland. In the Bible, in several places, they had biblical figures killing off entire populations in order to settle their land. Jacob is the father of Israel. Am I correct?
That's right. You're correct.
What do Jacob mean?
Firstborn, I think.
Jacob means supplanter.
No. Hold on, you gotta say his name right. It's Yakub.
Yakub is the Hebrew word, but it means supplanter. What does supplanters do? They dig under something that's firmly rooted beneath the root, and they replace it by pushing the root out the ground. That's called undermining, usurping, understanding, standing under, right? So if you're in the proper position to overstand, then you should see the supplanters under you trying to replace you. All that Bible stuff is, we know we the real people of God. We just don't know God is a woman. So when they say we gods, the God man is the man that's going to come and tell you without his feelings being hurt, without his pride getting in the way, and without being so selfish as to deny the unequivocal truth that God is a woman and can prove it. Right? We call her the dark mother. Now, a lot of the paleface, when they got initiated, when they came over here, and they was commissioned to go into places we couldn't go and put the secrets out in the public so the chiefs can find it, right? They got their drop of blood and was able to directly experience the love of the great mother. When they say God is love, that's saying God is mama. It's the same thing. Nobody loves a child more than the mother. It's not possible.
Hey, Rod, hold on. I was just thinking about it, man. Look, we ain't got to explain it so deeply into nothing, because first of all, the Israelites and like the Israelites mentioned in the Old Testament, right? The Indians is mentioned in the Old Testament, right? So the Indians and the Israelites were totally different people. So how could he say Israelites is the Indians when they were both in old texts and they were totally different people? Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
But we didn't have no Bible over here, so how we mentioned in it?
Right. I ain't talking about the Bible. I'm talking about in the old text. I ain't saying Bible though.
Oh, okay. So, well, even in, well, I don't know which text you talk about, because in the Aztec culture or the Mayan culture have a codex. It's called the Mayan Codex or the Popol Vuh, which is the ancient text from this land that was translated from hieroglyphics. Now remember, I'm not reading no notes. Y'all got to remember that when I'm telling y'all all this stuff off the top of the dome. Right? So when they came over here, they know that as a righteous people, we gonna always identify with the presentation of righteousness. They presented usurpers as the rightful heirs. And so we took on the identity of the usurper in order to prove that we are the lovers of God, the great mother. But what we did when we did that, when we accepted their dogma, was disassociated ourselves from the great mother. That's why their trinity is all males. That's a Tubal Cain. Go back to Genesis. Who in the hell is Tubal Cain? Right? That's one of the sons of Cain. Then if you look, you'll see that Cain started naming his children after the children of Seth. Now you got to remember, Cain slew Abel. right? And Seth was the recompense, the repayment. Since your son was killed by his brother, we're going to give you another son. And then Seth produced Enoch or Enos, and he wrote the first text, the Asahuf, the purified pages. And you got a chapter of Enoch, a chapter of Abraham, a chapter of Moses. There's a few chapters to it. And these is all the Torah before the Bible. And the only person to put the Suhuf in front of the people was Malachi York. So now you know what the people, the characters that they wrote as the fathers of Israel is actually disassociated from them, but they genetically connected to them. They the other side of the family, the step family. They come in. Go ahead, Copper. Empress.
How I deal with the Bible. Do your genealogy and let me know if you found Jesus, Mary Magdalene, the 12 disciples. Have a conversation.
Hey, I was hoping somebody. I was gonna say, Rod, hey man, we ain't here to give them no Bible lesson, man, because they do not do the information if they still talking about the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
When I see him put that in the chat, I say, here we go. They want to come over here with this Bible and start quoting stuff from the Bible until y'all find any one of them on your tree. Don't come to me about Jesus. Find them on your tree, then we got a conversation. But we've been looking for that grave now for 6,000 years. We're looking for them. I'm just saying.
Look, if they was really perceptive of a historical record, they would realize the time frame.
Yeah.
When you look at the time frame, if you understand that the leader was a matriarch, and the matriarch of the same time period that disappeared just like your Jesus character. They say she killed herself by allowing herself to be bit by a spit adder. And y'all know her as Cleopatra, the last ruler of Kemet or Egypt from the dynastic period. They don't have her grave. But they got Mark Antony grave.
Yeah.
They got Brutus, they got his grave. They got the I forgot the Roman emperor she was messing with that fell out with
Caesar, Julius
Caesar. But that she was having an affair with, trying to hold her. She was trying to prevent the patriarchal takeover.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
if you want to know where the usurper came in at, you ain't got to look no further than Alexander the Great.
You know they found little Caesar Leo, what they call it, Julius Caesar. They found his grave down there in Argentina.
I call him gay ass Julius Caesar.
Yeah, they always gay. Peace on.
You know his first name is Gaius.
Gaius.
So it sounds like gay ass to me. Remember, I told y'all we was taken over by cross-dressing homosexual pedophile priests.
Yep, and that's what's still going on.
Can I ask y'all a question? Because it's still remiss to a lot of people in the chat. I did not hear Rod Hayes, Zoe, Chief Sunhour, or Empress not one time say that the masculine and the feminine didn't need each other. So what I'm just trying to figure out, what are people hearing y'all say that's making them behave the way they're behaving?
They want to hear what they want. Not once did nobody say that.
A lot of people, brain cells ain't firing, but we already know they're due to the shots and children. A lot of them lost their brainwave. Their brainwave is at a very low. Yeah, they did damage with y'all babies.
And a lot of them is Cabbage Patch Kids too.
Look, one of one of the great leaders of the last 40 years say, we was robbed of our names, robbed of our culture. And by the way some of us act, we even lost our mind.
Huh.
Where they got us down as imbeciles.
That's a fact. That that's why they was allegedly why they was holding our resources from us is because they say we was unfit as imbeciles in law to carry out and to manage our own affairs. So by papal bulls, it was 3 of them. Already put them out there. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but it was 3 papal bulls that had a cumulative effect of claiming every soul on earth as the responsibility of the Pope because they was unfit to manage their own affairs. So the Pope took it up on himself as the head of state of the Roman Empire. Because you got to remember, the Catholic Church is the continuation of Rome, which Rome was the continuation of Babylon. But what Babylon got to do with this? It was through the Babylonian blood magic, the Babylonian money magic, and the Babylonian sex magic that they used to rule the world. By spilling the blood of the righteous, it keeps the oracle women in a what's called a state of dementia. She can't perceive her psychic perception because the air is saturated with the residue of the spilt blood of the innocent, which is belligerent to the women of the earth. If you look at the biggest protesters of the violence against humanity amongst humanity, the biggest protesters is always the women because they can feel the pain of the family on the loss of the individual from the mother's perspective. And as a mother, she said, I don't want that to happen to my child. It draws her in emotionally to an event that needed to be protested against, and she just the one to speak up. This is why they feared Mary Lou Hamer and Lucy Parson.
That's right.
Go look them up.
Yes, Fannie Lou Hamer. That's right.
Look, Lucy Parson is the FBI say she was the most dangerous woman in the world. What they mean? How is she the most dangerous person in the world? The most dangerous woman in the world? According to the FBI. This ain't Rod Hayes. So what made her dangerous was her blood rights. She just didn't have a widow's son to claim the birthright for all of it.
You're absolutely correct. It said Lucy E. Parsons, 1851 to 1942, was an American social anarchist and later anarcho-communist. Her early life is shrouded in mystery. She herself said she was of mixed Mexican and Native American ancestry. Historians believe she was born to an African-American slave, but that's historians. Then married a black freedman in Texas. You know, people, of course, they're going to switch it around, but they said it. She's indigenous to this land. So, yeah, that's probably why she was the most dangerous woman in America. She's beautiful, too. Beautiful. She was born in Texas or Virginia. They don't even know. She died in Chicago, Illinois.
I was going to that was Copper Empress talking. I was going to say, put it on the big screen. I wanted to see it.
Okay, I'm going to send it to Empress.
Oh, I'm making this shit up, by the way.
No, you're not.
What you say?
I'm making it up as I go.
As he go.
Ignore the chat room. Do not look at the chat room.
I didn't hear what he said. What he say?
He said he making this shit up, by the way, but no, he's not. It's like he's being facetious.
Oh, okay.
He is being facetious.
And that'll be something they can go live tomorrow about. Oh, Lord, we'll see another 10 days of this.
I told you, dog. I told you. He was lying, dog.
I'm about to put Senator Empress right now.
I ain't know people had this much energy for the internet, though.
Me either. It's coming
You know,
to you.
Nick, our people got a whole lot of energy for bullshit. We ain't got but a little tolerance for some righteous shit.
Thank you.
That's the one.
Right.
That's
Oh,
the one right there. Thank you.
That's a fact. You send it to me, Chisa, now.
That's my love. Check your email.
Okay.
Yeah, that's deep. I could see why she was named the most dangerous woman. She had a big stake in this land, baby.
If she ever had a counterpart, she would have took this motherfucker over.
Yep.
I know who you talking about off rip. I already know. Yep. You not motherfucking lying. I know exactly who he talking about.
Chief Pontiac, why were they saying she was the most dangerous woman?
Because she had the birthright to reclaim everything.
I figured that. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know if she was like robbing motherfuckers or whatever.
The only reason she really couldn't do it is because the 200 years wasn't up.
200 years is up, baby.
Look, while she pulling this picture up, pull up Marcus Garvey Army.
Oh, Lord, not him.
When Garvey got over here, he was going to take these motherfuckers to war. But he found out through the Prince Hall Lodge what the secret was in the 200-year contract. I posted the receipts on my page of him acknowledging the 200-year struggle and that we still going to win if it take another 100 years. He said that 100 years ago. Think about that.
I have a question for you, Ryan, regarding Garvey, because I'm not a fan of his. I'm gonna be honest. After doing a whole bunch of research on him and learning who he was bosom buddies with,
Walter Plecker.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily know if it's a question. It's just an observation, I would say. From my observation, in my opinion, he wasn't for the American Aborigine.
Tried to bring us back to Africa.
The reason why he said back to Africa, see, we're not really versed in Garvey when we talk about him to know what he was doing. When he discovered what the Kanja War was, he needed us to make alliances. He called it the confraternity. And the confraternity's job was to find out from the African that we was already here in America. He couldn't come out and tell us outright, we're going to connect with Africans so that they can tell you from America, because that would have violated his Masonic oath and got him murdered, which he ended up getting him murdered in the end. But the Back to Africa movement was to bring attention to Liberia, the Lone Star State of Africa, which is the mirror to Texas. When they told us they brought us over here as slaves, they actually took us to settle Liberia under President Monroe. If we don't never talk to the people,
yep, I sent it to you. I messaged it to you.
If we don't never make a alliance with Africans, the Africans can't tell us. We have no record of millions of people being extracted from Africa in none of these tribes. All that gateway to the slave trade, all that shit is made up. That was the gateway to the Iberian slave trade, but not to the American slave trade. And they used shuttle boats back then. They didn't use ships for the transport of slaves from Africa to northern Africa and the Iberian Peninsula. That's where they was taking their slaves from. And two, they got over here the black slaves is the fancy of Arabs. The Arabs is the ones who created the transatlantic slave trade, but it was funded by people that call themselves Jews. These people that call themselves Jews look like us, but they ain't us. And they always changing their names. They change their names in the historical record, so we won't never know they're the same people trying to usurp all of the people around the world.
Askenazis, yep.
Right. Garvey came over here and built a whole army because he thought that he was about to do his function as a court guard. In his Masonic rank, he's the court guard. If he would have found there was no contracts, he would have been authorized to use physical force to remove the enemy. But the discovery of the contract.
You don't see it?
No, it didn't come through.
It didn't come through your message? Not your messenger, your phone message. I mean your phone.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to wind it down, y'all.
I'm getting tired and starving. I haven't eaten anything.
It was a great bill. I hate that she wasn't able to.
She's gonna come on. She has to go on Mama G, so I don't think she wanted to stretch it tomorrow. She told me she has to go on Mama G tomorrow, but she said definitely she's gonna come on Empress. She said
okay.
So we're gonna get it together for next week.
Okay. Yes.
Hey Rod. Hey Rod, I'm over here in Grand Rapids, man. My number's in the back too. Get it down so we can link up, my brother.
2 heavyweights. 2 knowledgeable guys. That's what it's about.
I would like to share my my research with Rod so he can see, because I heard what you said and comprehended and understood what you said. It's still dots need to be connected for me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put my email in the back chat, and I can get your email so I can send you all of what all of my research of what I have.
Mm-hmm. So we had to have a dog in every fight.
That's right.
Right. And if you don't know your dog and you reach into that dog fight and grab the wrong dog, your ass gonna get bit. So you have to know where your dog at in the fight. You got to know what fight he's fighting. Right? You got to know, before you understand Garvey, you have to understand who Prince Hall was and who Absalom Jones was and what was they doing. Because Prince Hall Masons, or they call them the Black Masons, is the actual legitimate masonry of the land over here, which is actually rites of passage for the development of leadership.
That's right.
This is why almost every one of the leaders of the world is some kind of Mason.
Matter of fact, to this day, the leader is a black pope.
People don't even know about the Black Pope or the Gray Pope.
That's right.
Matter of fact, I was just gonna say, you know what? I make them think about this one. One day they'll look up Francis Pope. Ooh.
This has been absolutely amazing.
Okay,
And even though her spirit was here, and we, is a lot of questions that people were asking that I felt was answered by you, Chief Pontiac, and I really appreciate you coming. I really do.
Ain't no problem. All I'm gonna do is stand in the position of right and keep telling the truth until they buckle.
That's I like that. I like that.
Did she find picture of Garvey with?
Hold on. It's my damn phone is tripping out.
Would you rather me email it to you?
Yeah, email it to me. I'm trying to.
One baby girl.
Yeah, I'm definitely tired.
You ever see Garvey with the hat with the feathers?
Hmm.
Who?
You ever see Garvey got this hat he wear and it got feathers in it?
Ah,
That's to represent us.
Hmm. Ain't nobody don't
Feathers is
talk about
sacred
that.
to the feathers is sacred to the Americas, and it symbolizes the pure heart.
I just sent it to you, Empress.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, but we're gonna get on. We're gonna definitely have a build about Marcus Garvey and Prince Hall and Absalom Jones is definitely a part of my bloodline. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause-
So it's a book
Boy,
called
these people in Empress chat is funny. Zoe, I know you say don't read the chat. I can't help it. Let me just say this to people who so some of y'all in the chat, y'all must not know. So let me pop my shit right quick. I do a lot of research and just like Rod, I'm very gifted as well.
yeah.
I don't
Our
know who y'all
impact.
think y'all playing with in that chat, but no, my research don't come from Google, honey. Okay, y'all have a good night. I gotta go. Y'all know this YouTube shit and this internet shit don't I can't do it. Rod, I put my email in the back chat because somebody about to get cussed the fuck out from
Be
around me.
respectful in this chat.
No
Hey,
Let me tell
disrespectful.
y'all something.
that's Copper
Let me
Purpose little
go.
sister.
Yeah,
You
let me
gotta
tell
leave her
y'all something.
alone.
Let me tell y'all something. Be respectful over here. Cause we are the matriarchs. You see the title? That's us. Me, Lyric, and Chi Sundown.
so
Be
on
respectful.
Marcus Garvey left is Walter Plecker.
Yep.
Why is he on the left instead of the right?
That's a good question, Chief Pontiac. Explain to us.
Left bump mean hostile. This is the pillar of severity in masonry. Even
Mm.
though you see Garvey in the picture with him, you look at the brother on his right. The brother on his right is got the mean mug. He's standing in the position to right, but he's looking away to the right and looking down.
Mm-hmm.
He's disgusted about what's going on Garvey's left. The reason Walter Plecker is in this picture is because eugenics was reverse psychology in the one drop of blood doctrine. You have to read J. Rogers' Sex and Race and Nature Knows No Color Line and Superman the Man to understand the obstacle that the eugenists was going through in order for Paleface to get a drop of blood from the originals.
And they
We
still
was
try to get our blood.
they got their drop of blood and it comes out in the arts. Ain't no original pale faces no more. Not over
No,
here.
no.
And the ones who didn't get their drop of blood not gonna be here. They're gonna be recycled back into the three-dimensional matrix. Right? But when they finally get their blood out of the three-dimensional matrix, that one drop of blood gives them ascension rights. It opens up the collaboration between left and right brain.
Right.
The Walter Plecker job was the same as Inky job. Figure out a way to make these people amalgamate until they get their drop of blood so they can inherit their ascension rights from the originals.
You're right. I want to say something. Because of the internet, a lot of people learned a lot of stuff that they wouldn't have even researched. So Googling ain't nothing wrong with Googling. None of y'all don't read. A lot of us do not read. And I'm serious. We gotta
I ain't
stop
the,
trying to be sarcastic and mean and get the point.
Well, I ain't the one to talk, so you ain't heard it from me. But they sure don't like to read, but they sure like to tell you what you know is wrong.
Exactly, Chief. Exactly.
They tell you you got your answer ain't right. Well, what's the right answer? I don't know, but it ain't the one you got.
Most of them talking have not built a nation, have not did anything, but always want to talk.
Yep.
And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. But you know what? That's my people, and I love them.
Yeah, but
That's the audacity of the leader.
That's
that's
right.
right. You're saying y'all don't know no boundaries no more. You know, respect will go a long motherfucking way, especially if you're over here in my damn chair with the bullshit. Because I boot you in the heartbeat and won't think nothing else about you. You know, respect over here, and it's well due around this month. You know, I know a lot of y'all feeling yourselves.
Mikey G13, what you mean? I'm asking Mikey G13 what he means. See, I'm reading it, and I'm gonna be on this shit because we can't do nothing like this. We have to know. Have to know the truth.
If y'all wasn't here at the beginning of my life, I told y'all gonna be respectful because I didn't have to bring him here. We're gonna get Empress, Rebirth,
Yeah, you're right, Rebirth. I was just saying you're right, Rebirth.
Yeah, I mean, y'all gonna have to be respectful over here. You don't have to come back. Be respectful, because I'm not gonna do you like it. Y'all don't have to like the information. Like I say, everything ain't for you. Eat the meat and spit out the goddamn bones. That's all the fuck you gotta do. It ain't hard. It ain't rocket science. Cause I know when you goddamn eating when your mama cook, if it ain't what you want, you spit the shit out.
I just read the coldest statement in the comment. Somebody say the naysayers be the main ones.
Go ahead, Chief Pontiac. You're right.
Somebody in the comments said the naysayers be the main ones not doing shit.
That's right.
Look, Mickey G13, you've been around for a long time, but if I ask you for the respect to give my people when they come to my panel, I expect that from you. I don't even really go off on none of y'all. A lot of y'all got wrenches because I gave y'all wrenches because y'all been around for a long time. But you don't have to come in here. There's just like this is what we're dealing with now when it comes to these pasty motherfuckers. They came in for a fucking sleepover and the motherfuckers never went home. And then they sitting up here in my house and they disrespected me, telling me that I'm somebody that I'm not, and they the motherfuckers of the land because they done been here for so goddamn long. You know, it's a amount of respect that's due to everybody. Same way y'all want their respect from this motherfucking cracker that said he got your last name and this is his fucking land. Y'all need to give the same respect to us because we got them out here doing this shit on front line.
It don't cost shit to shut the fuck up.
I mean, come on now, be respectful. I asked for much from nobody in my chat. I just said be respectful. And then if I'm wrong and I cuss your ass out, what do I do right there on the line? I come back and I apologize.
Hey, Lady Spade say they think they know it all, but won't read a comic book.
I mean, like, this is my mother bearer information to y'all, and y'all already know it. Then that means to move on. This means this ain't class for you. You know, this what called graduating does. You have graduated to the next level. So just stop by, say deuces, and keep it moving because you done graduated from this class. But there's a lot of people that don't know this information and they in here learning. So, you know, come on now, just be respectful. That's all I ask.
And we all are still learning, including me. I'm 63 years old. I'm still learning. I'm sure everybody is still learning. So none of us
it's called a universe,
know everything. You know.
Yeah, and it's called a universe. So that would mean you will continue to learn as long as you live it.
That's right.
Hey, look, this is a key point a lot of us miss. We live in the realm of infinite possibility. If you live in a realm of infinite possibility, you also live in a realm of infinite probability. If at any given time your perspective becomes the dominant perspective, your reality will shift in order to give you the potential that you manifest. We manifest in the unified tribal redemption by taking key steps from the culture and executing oral traditions in the public domain against the will of the government that's actually a corporation masquerading as a government, waiting on us to wake up and realize that if we use our culture, we can serve an eviction according to Article 77 of the Iroquois Constitution.
Yep.
So if you think you know what you're talking about, and you ain't never served the Iroquois Constitution Article 77 on the invaders and the imposters, then you faking the funk.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they need to be looking up. Article 77 of the Iroquois Confederation.
Mm-hmm. So true. But y'all,
I read that into the public domain about 4 months ago, and people still don't know what it is.
Right. Right. We're never going to stop teaching, and we're never going to stop learning, and that's the thing. And I'm telling you now, Chief Sunhour of the Chichoma Chapatulas Nation in New Orleans, Louisiana, we stand behind the Empress, and we're going to do this. We're going to get our land back.
I tell you this, I appreciate it, and I know she do too, because we working too hard for the people that's coming out against us to come out against us, and we working for some of them too.
That's right.
Yep.
She ain't just trying to get her shit, she trying to get all our shit.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I told my mama I go last, because if my sisters ain't got their shit, I want to tear this motherfucker up.
That's
I ain't worried about getting mad, because if I get my sisters their shit, they'll hold me down till I get mad.
Right.
At least you try to tear the motherfucker. We got motherfuckers around here putting on wigs and fucking stilettos and skirts and shit. Ain't trying to tear up nothing but a goddamn club. That's it. So at least you is willing to tear this motherfucker up. I'm tired of you niggas. I'm so tired of you niggas.
I can't stand her. Sound like me.
You know, my man said I
can't do nothing right in the eye.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's a book called The Obstacle Is a Way by Ryan Holiday. I love the naysayers and the ones that saying we don't know what we talking about, using belligerent terms, because I'm getting all their inheritance because they gonna forfeit it.
There sure is. All the ones claiming that they're from Africa forfeiting inheritance.
Niggas about being oppressed and being bound and all this. As soon as you try to free a motherfucker, they complaining about that. What the fuck? What, either you want it or you don't, nigga. Nobody's gonna.
You know what I say, cuz?
Go down with that damn corporation.
What I say, cuz? I tell them flat out, I'd rather let them stay dead driving around. I'd just be in something better driving past them.
I mean, you can't have it. Oh wait, I mean, you say you're tired and you want all your shit back, and then soon goddamn it, get to the barn to let all your fucking barn animals out. Your niggas running to the back of the motherfucker. Ain't nobody coming out to open up the door all the way for you niggas to come running out. And what y'all doing? Then ran back all up in the stables, talking about you don't even want them out. Your niggas been in there playing around all this time. And then we told you the farm, the land is free. Come on out, let's eat. We finna throw some seeds out here for you motherfuckers. Y'all monkey as hell. I mean, you can't fuck with a cage animal. I swear to God, y'all is monkey in the motherfucker. I here don't know how to act. Trying to set y'all free, but you don't want it. I say, shit, y'all put the padlock on the goddamn barn. Leave the asses in there.
What threads say? What threads say, Empress? Everybody can't walk.
Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go.
I go.
And then some
I'm glad everybody can't go, because half these some bitches need to be drowned in shit.
Well, that's how they got here. They said they were swimming in shit back and forth across the Atlantic. C3, I mean, Nikki, G13, is you on something tonight? Because y'all know I say nigga all the time over here. As I told you, it's damned if you do or damned if you don't. And anybody know Empress, I say nigga all the time. Now all of a sudden it's a problem for me to say nigga because you niggas done found out you're Indians. Now you don't even want to be niggas. I swear to God. That time yeah, and the English dictionary said that that's who they call the Indians, any dark-skinned person in America.
Hey, somebody, Empress, somebody posted, Malik BMH posted a part of Article 77. It say when the lords of the Confederacy decide to admit a foreign nation and an adoption is made, the lords shall inform the adopted nation that its submission is only temporary. The rest of it is the remedy. If they don't follow the terms given to them, then it's up to the war chief, acting war chief, to cancel the contract and serve the eviction. And tell them, politely ask them to leave the land before we get indignant.
Yep,
That's
eviction
right.
by default.
I think Empress Goddess Namaste had a question. She said, "Are we Anunnaki?"
Oh hell no, Empress Namaste.
What she asked?
Are we Anunnaki?
The funny part about that is 99% of the humans on the planet got some Anunnaki blood in them in one portion or another.
Hey, I was going to say, my phone is about to hang up real quick. I want to say peace to everybody came out today.
We love you, bro.
Love everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you coming out, bro. You know, Rod.
Appreciate you too, bro.
My number, that 770 number in the back chat, you can get it before you get out of here. Hit me up, cuz, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cuz, thank you for coming up here. She said that's Olmec and Mayan blood.
All right, peace.
I love y'all so much.
I knew when she asked that where she was going. Well, y'all, we'll get on out of here because I'm tired since I've been up since 5:30 this morning.
All right.
And my eyes are burning now.
So appreciate y'all.
Peace, love, and light. I ain't staying on music to go out, y'all. I'm too tired.
Yeah.
My bed is thinking about me, y'all. I swear to God.
Good night. And Chief Pontiac,
I love y'all.
Tell Empress we love her. And we stand by her.
Yeah, I love y'all. Thank you for coming out, Ron, and bringing your energy over here again. I appreciate that. And we will get you back again, my brother. Trust and believe we'll get you back over here. I'm sorry this time it took so long.
And please tune in tomorrow for Empress G House of the Awakening Minds. That's what it's called? Chief Pontiac? House of the Awakening Minds. Is he still there? He's gone. Okay, well, she's going to be on Empress G tomorrow, House of the Awakening Minds. So I'm going to check it out too, and I'm going to get back with her tomorrow, and we'll definitely.
There you go. Can you hear Ron?
Yeah, tell them tomorrow you're going to be on Empress G's channel, right? And that's House of the Awakening Minds. Okay.
House of Reawakened Minds with Dr. G. I think you gotta register because I be saying some shit that'll get her banned on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So she always first recorded on her web page, and then when she review it, she'll know if it's uncensorable and she'll post it. But if it's something in there that she'll get a strike for, she's just gonna leave it on her page. And you'll still be able to watch it for free, but the live you have to sign up for. She got it on. If you go to House of Reawakened Minds page on YouTube, you should find the sign up for it. It should be posted.
All right. Y'all have a wonderful night tonight. I appreciate you, Yakoke. Yakoke Empress for having us on tonight. And Yakoke Rod, Chief Pontiac, and Yakoke Zoe for coming on and giving us y'all beautiful, beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful spirit.
I just wanted to say thank y'all for having me. And the people need to know I don't do this for money, because somebody was saying that I'm in here hustling, trying to get money on other people's name, and that's not the case, because I ain't even trying to get money on my own name.
That's
I
right.
wish I would have seen that in the chat, because I'd have blocked your ass, because ain't nobody over here, and y'all in the wrong checker. We don't do that shit around here.
Who said somebody asking for money?
This was all that these people that was in my inbox. I'm just putting it out there so people will know.
For money.
Yeah, they were doing they doing lives talking about I'm working with government and I'm out for money. I ain't never asked a motherfucker for shit.
That's the main government workers. Trust me. If they trying to accuse you, it is reverse.
Right. I keep telling them, and I'm gonna say this again for the people that's watching. I can get two shits about this legal fiction masquerading as a government. I don't work with them. I don't work for them. I work for the tribes. All of them. And even if you don't like me, if you a tribal leader with a functional tribe, I'm fighting for you too, and you just don't know it yet.
Okay. You said no that being dysfunction.
Don't take us home, Empress.
All righty. Peace and love, y'all. Everybody have a masterful rest of the evening. And I'll let y'all know when her and get a set date. I'll make sure that she'll be here, because we'll call her early, so she won't set nothing beforehand. So peace and love, y'all. Have a masterful rest of the evening.
You too, goddess. Peace and love, Empress. Peace and love, Chief. Peace and love, so. Bye-bye, guys. Bye, chat. Love you guys.